What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And
Yes, sir.
Brand new year, brand new wave, baby. We here. We were talking about the graps, the raps. Here to talk about the champions and non-champions, the mountains versus no mountains. You know, we here, and it's been a privilege to come back and tune in with you all about this lovely game we got, which is called the Wrestling World. I go by Jay, aka the lonely one, the babyface, pod breaker, Podson Reed, the man, the one, the only. I could not do this without my man, Heroic Rager. Go ahead, take it away from here.
You know, I thought I was going to get Terrence Howard, but you guys can't stop me. I'm back for season 2 of the Monday Night Wave, and you can't recast me. Because I am here, because you heard what Loner said. I am here, and he can't do the show without me, baby. Anyway, greetings, good folk.
Bars.
A warm welcome to the Back to Our Gathering on this fine Monday Eve. Lend thy ears as I present myself. He be a rascal of sorts, a sovereign most fair, the noble master of allure, in a true fortune's favor. He be our champion, and I am he. And for those who are new to the show, what that means is he is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is hero, and I am he.
Yes, sir. And of course, as always, the third mic, the three and the man of the weave, the 3-man weave. It's your boy DT. What a break! What a break we had!
What a break we had!
You know what I'm saying? But we can't. We can't get started without 4 words from myself. So, I love you, Roman. Cause Soul's not the tribal chief anymore. Let's get to it. Let's go, baby.
Let's pod about it. Let's see what we got going on here. Yes, welcome back, people. Welcome back to season 2 of the Monday Night Wave. We are live and direct. Before we get to the news and everything like that, we're going to talk about how everybody's break been. Prior to or pre-pod, y'all was off mic talking about how I went 0 dark 30. I did. Not a smell of wrestling. I didn't look at it. I didn't touch it. To be fair, I didn't tap back in till maybe after World's End. I think that was New Year's. Because the first show I watched was the Wrestle Kingdom when Kenny actually wrestled. But man, it was fucking great. You ain't got to see no takes, no posts, no nothing. Actually, I felt like a civilian. I was out in the world with just non-wrestling thoughts. It was crazy. It was insane. I saw Never mind, I'm not gonna say that.
Did you touch grass?
No.
Wait, no, yeah. You about to say something sensual?
Touch grass? No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I saw a tiki torch and didn't think about tribal combat, but
Were you weren't in Charlotte? Were you? You were
this
surrounded by
is why I
very...
didn't want to say it because I knew this nigga was gonna pick this lob up and run.
Let me tell you about Charlotte, brother.
I knew it, bro. Oh,
very
fuck.
People,
yeah. Definitely touched the grass, played some games, got some stuff built. For those who are listening now, we do got some very special ceremony coming up for the Wave in a couple of months, and we got some of that planned out for you guys. But how you guys break? Hero, what did you do during the break?
Well, I still watch wrestling. But actually, no, that's a lie. I didn't watch a single show. My wife still watched it, so I would look in, but I was tapped in online. But other than that, man, I got a bidet, life changing. And I've been playing video games too. It was cool because I actually had work off because they had a shutdown. So I was on a legit a winter vacation, and I tried not to do a single thing besides have fun.
Nice.
So.
Yeah.
I wish that I could say my holiday was as nice as y'all's. I worked during the holiday, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm gonna air myself out if I don't.
Fair.
So let's just say the holiday season is not the best time for people's emotions and egos. But outside of work, spend some time with family. Spent some time with my girl's family. That was interesting. Definitely.
Okay.
What else? I actually did watch wrestling. For whatever reason, couldn't seem to put it down. So we'll have to talk about that a little later at some point.
We got him hooked. We got him hooked. He's on the stuff.
He's gonna puke. Oh fuck! I had to get that one out. Before we get into the news, I want everybody to know we gotta celebrate something. The man himself, Heroic, had a birthday.
Oh,
so once again, happy birthday to the man, the Heroic Rage over here. We gotta celebrate him.
Thank you.
Yeah. But now into the news. First thing on the docket here is Vince McMahon is back in the news. It looks like he used to come out and pay more than $1.7 million in the hush money case after failing to disclose payments and agreements related to the misconduct allegations. This is separate from the Janelle Grant lawsuit.
Very separate.
And their attorney came out and said that they're going to use this evidence in their civil case. And hopefully Janelle gets whatever she's looking for. We ride with. That sounds great. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say we ride with the sexual.
We ride with victims.
That sounds wild. That sounds kind of crazy. But that's not our intent or my intent.
Can we just talk about this press rollout? Let me.
Oh yeah. What do you? I didn't even put that down.
Yeah. No. So everyone is chilling. Everyone's chilling. A couple of days ago, we just relaxing. I woke up maybe 8 something in the morning Pacific time. And I get this pop on X, Twitter, BLUESKY. And I look, I'm like, Vince McMahon, the fuck he tweet? How did that get on my For You page? This was a statement put out by Mr. Kennedy. The case is closed. Today ends nearly 3 years of investigation by different governmental agencies. There has been a great deal of speculation about what exactly the government was investigating and what the outcome would be. As today's resolution shows, much of that speculation was misguided and misleading. In the end, there was never anything more than this minor accounting errors with regard to some personal payments that I made several years ago while I was CEO of WWE. I am thrilled that I can now put this behind me. End quote. Hold up, Bretta. Hold up.
Oh, and they ate that shit up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the last sentence of that first paragraph. As today's resolution shows, much of that speculation was misguided and misleading. You want to talk about misguiding people and misleading? That statement isn't even about what we're concerned about. So it sat there for maybe an hour and a half. Of course, the internet, and rightfully so, was up in flames. So much so that this post received a community note.
Which is wild.
Essentially saying, this nigga's lying. You might have got investigated for paying off money or hush money, but that's not what we're concerned about. We're concerned about the reason why you gave away hush money. So, I just wanted to add that in there.
I mean, I have no further statements. Yeah, it was just kind of, it was very well worded to confuse people, which it confused a lot of people. But for those
on purpose, that's the sick part. You did that shit on purpose.
It's very lawyery and it's very, it's a whole word salad that's meant to confuse you. So people are like, oh yeah, he's innocent. It's like you got to read what he's actually saying, and you got to actually see what he's like. Yeah, that's all for the SEC. We don't even know where that money's going to go to. It might go back to WWE. It might go back to I think they say investors.
I think 1.3 goes back to WWE.
Okay, yeah. So that's just going to go to the investors and anyone who has stocks and shit. Rock is going to take a huge chunk of that probably. But
the final boss.
But yeah, no, the Janelle Grant case is still very active, you guys. So he's not, and also
don't celebrate yet.
Also, it proves obviously he did some shit.
And that's the crazy part, is that this just proves that you was using this money to pay off people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just a quick piggyback because Odyssey Jones posted a video yesterday.
Oh
Woo,
my
I didn't
god,
watch that. I didn't even check it. That nigga
I
started
did.
off
I
with God
did.
in 3 seconds, and I was like, I'm
I
out.
watched the
I
first
did
like
put it
20
in.
seconds, and it's like when someone like posts a video and instantly start quoting Bible verses, it's like you're guilty, bro. I'm sorry. Like that. If your first response to anything is all glory to God, and you quoting something from Ezekiel or Jeremiah or something, like yeah, okay, I've seen this story before. I've seen this before, so I just had to piggyback off of that because they're very similar.
Oh
And
yeah, I
it's
saw
crazy
that
how
shit.
it
That
came
nigga
back
came
to
out.
back, almost like 2 days apart. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was like, all right, all right, y'all get ready for homie to take off as y'all trying to get the clear, but nah.
For sure. And the funny thing is, like, the Jesus should be working. That shit was like, it gets
Oh
a lot of
yeah,
niggas out
oh
of some
man.
holes, and nigga, like,
Russell
it's
Brand
crazy.
really literally rebranded, no pun intended, and like he's all super God, and it's like, nah, bro, nah, you
We know who you is.
yeah, man.
Fuck.
Hey,
That's funny.
it's just like Terry said. The wrestling fans, if they can forgive Benoit, they're very forgiving.
But we gonna get into Terry. We gonna light Terry's ass up. Don't worry about that. He got his time coming for sure. We got a couple signings, announces of like maybe potential releases happening. It looks like Malachi Black Malachi Black, formerly known as Aleister Black, maybe Aleister Black in a couple months from now, is on his way out of AEW. We've talked about this several times on the pod before because this always seems to be a thing with him. And not necessarily his fault, but it just picks up.
Yeah.
People just don't know what the situation is. But it seems a little bit
Different,
more heavier.
yeah.
It seems different because of the programming on AEW.
Yeah.
We've seen Cope and Ospreay push
I'm sorry.
Buddy Matthews, and
I'm gonna want to talk about that when we go to AEW.
Oh my god!
Look, what's funny
Hey.
is that like I was calling him Cope just as like that's how I shortened his name anyway. I didn't even think about like he actually shortened his name to Cope.
Oh, I wasn't talking. I want to talk about Will Ospreay. Anyway, no, we'll get to it when we get to the show.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some rubs
say.
going on the show that kind of seemingly can confirm that Aleister Black, Malachi Black is on his way out.
So
any thoughts?
Yeah, my quick thoughts is it feels different because usually, like you said, this has happened. Well, he's been there for pretty much almost the whole 5 years.
4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so it happens like twice a year almost, to where he literally posts the videos like, I'm chilling, I'm still here, blah, blah, blah. This is the first time that these rumors popped up and he hasn't reposted a video in his gym or on his couch saying I'm Gucci. So that's
right.
one. And then two, yeah, it's from what we've seen on AEW programming from Collision and Dynamite, it seems like House of Black is getting a push, which is very crazy because you couldn't push them while Malachi was there. We'll get into it, but yeah, it seems different. It seems like they're it's a slow roll of him leaving, and everyone is like, "You guys are going to be good. You guys are going to be fine." Just all this crazy shit.
It's interesting. I can't wait wherever if he stays, if he goes. I'm a fan either way. All I gotta do is change it to Netflix. I just change the app. I'm good. Like it don't bother me at all where he gonna be at. But I'm excited to see like him if he does go back to the E, being under like Triple H. He is a Triple H guy. Triple H loved him. The programming that he had in NXT when he was there was great. I just don't want him to get lost in the shuffle. I've always thought that he was more than like a mid-card guy to me. I think that he's definitely a world champion material. I know that can be a little interesting with the the golf gimmick and whatnot, but we've seen that it can be successful. We've seen Priest do it with Judgment Day and whatnot. Rhea. With that being said, I just hope he gets used properly. That's with anybody who leaves the AEW or WWE. I just want y'all to get used properly. Speaking of another signing, it looks like Becky Lynch agreed to a contract that got announced during the Raw week, or Raw and Netflix week. We're not surprised here. Nobody's like, oh my god, I didn't think she was gonna resign.
No,
seemed
like she was taking it Seth was on Chris Van Vliet's show, and he kind of says pretty much that she's been doing filming this entire time. Like she's like, granted, she's still doing mom stuff, but like she's been working on multiple projects. She's going to be in Star Trek. It was just announced that she's also
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, she's also in Happy Gilmore. So yeah, she's been working. But like you said, no surprise. I don't think either of us three are surprised. I don't think the IWC is really that surprised. But yeah, she was just taking a break and to do mom stuff and to make some money, make some movies, just like what.
It's a smart move.
Everybody else is doing.
It's a smart move, yo. Especially like, and I don't know how their situation is now, but it used to be before, like WWE would get like a profit of like talents doing outside work, like acting and shit like that. But to be like, oh, I'm not signed, and then go get the bag from Star Trek, and that's just 100% your bag, like that's love, yo. Like that's bread. So if that's how she was moving. Very smart. Kudos to you. I respect that for sure.
I have some petty. Go ahead.
Petty. What you got?
Well, sorry. I have some petty booking.
Okay.
That I would like to see.
What you
got? Bailey, Charlotte, and Becky together, unified in the E.
Why?
Oh, you know why.
Oh, I know, but I want you to say it. Go ahead.
I just, I think there's a clear gap in talent, and I think it would be great to showcase what the horsewomen would look like as a stable.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to elaborate on that? And does this have anything to do with your altercation on Blue Sky?
Well, it does slightly, yes.
Okay, slightly.
I'll just keep it short and sweet. So.
Nah, it's not. It's not. This is gonna be our clip. They're gonna clip this shit. So whatever you say, let's go.
Listen, I didn't say much. It was just I should have had this ready. Give me 2 seconds.
While he's sitting there looking it up, people. Mercedes had a pretty big week in Japan. She ends up being the belt collector. She got 4 of them things. Very fucking good match. I was definitely watching that shit. The shit was fucking fire. But it left a lot of people questioning, her impacts.
I mean,
a lot of people were pondering and questioning her impact of the world, and does she rub people? Does she help the women's division and whatnot? Before he gets his shit off, like I know he gonna get his shit off. I'm gonna say she has. I personally think she's the best women's wrestler in the world right now. That's my personal opinion. And yeah, I got nothing but great things to say about Mercedes. Because for me to be the greatest, you got to do it in multiple places. That's one of my categories to be the great, and she's proven it to me, in my personal opinion. Now, enough from me and my sponsors. Back to DT and his hate.
3 days ago, hate. And I don't actually hate Mercedes because I don't know her. I'll talk.
You question the hype.
Yeah,
you question the hype.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There was a tweet or a skeet that I responded to 3 days ago. It said, gun to his head, Bobby couldn't cut a good promo to save his life. This was an immediate response to the Hurt Syndicate crashing Private Party's VIP party and attempting to announce that they were going to go after the tag title. And I responded and I said, that's fair. There's another superstar from another company that can't promo their way out of a paper bag either. This person responded, oh, here we go. And I said, what? I didn't say any names. They immediately said, don't start with my girl. Just gonna let that sit there. And I said, the funny part is to assume I was talking about her means she has a problem, which is why she needs to fix it. Side note, even though you're correct, it could also apply to Ricochet.
I love that shit. I love it so much. I'm not gonna lie. I love that shit so much, bro.
It's starting to work. It's starting to work.
I love
it. They respond. They then respond and go, "Oh, I know my girl can't promo on her own. I love her regardless, but I'm not blind and deaf. Ricochet definitely can't promo, but he's getting better at using nonverbal displays. I'm so proud of that for him." Which brings me back to wait, hold, because this is about the CEO and Miss Monet. This is not about Ricochet. Which brings me to my question: how can you be the greatest or great if you can't do everything that's required?
See, and here's my battle to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the opposite end of that, as
Mm-hmm.
great as Roman is, his
Mm-hmm.
moveset is lacking. He does
Okay.
not have the greatest moveset. He's the fucking star.
Mm-hmm.
But do we consider Roman the greatest?
Do we consider Roman the greatest, or do I
Like,
consider Roman the greatest?
hypothetical, metaphorical, whatever you want to say. Do the world consider Roman the greatest, WWE talent?
So here's my response, and I'm going to use the John Cena response. The reason why Roman would be considered the greatest is because he has elevated multiple people
Right.
and brought them up to that level. So
Yeah.
when
But we don't
Mercedes,
think was done with
no,
Mercedes?
No.
no,
That's interesting. That is very interesting.
What happened to Willow after she took the belt from Willow? What happened with her spat with Britt Baker?
I mean,
What happened with Statlander?
she hasn't
I'm
elevated
just
a single talent, and like people say Vacure, they use Vacure, and it's like, well, she got Vacure.
she was already gone.
She wasn't signed to that company, and he had eyes
she
on
wasn't.
her.
She wasn't, but he didn't get eyes until after the Forbidden Door match, and that was reported by SRS. So like that's actually factual. I just want to well, and once again, I have no fucking dog in this horse. A race. I don't know. When we say elevate talent, do we want to fucking see this next person that she wins to or loses to go for titles? Like what's the elevate talent part? Because Willow is a big star now. Willow's over in Japan doing shit. Like, what's the?
But you just said Japan. Okay. Here's my. This would be my thing, right? If you are supposed to be the star and people are surrounding you, they're orbiting you. You're the person that's supposed to elevate the greatest women's division in all of wrestling and take it globally. Mm-hmm. When you go to these places or you have these 6-7 belts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You Thanos now. You got all the belts, but having all the belts don't mean nothing if they don't mean nothing because they're on you and you're not elevating the people that are coming for them. The second thing is when you interact with these wrestlers, whomever they may be, whether they win or they lose, they should start being featured more prominently. There should be a continued program that allows them to build up their notoriety.
And do you think that's a problem with like the booking aspect? Is that now like Tony's job to book it? Because she could elevate the talent, but it's not her job to book the matches for them afterwards, of course,
It's twofold.
And I think that's where a lot of that can lie into, to where I do think that the talent she has tried to build should definitely be booked differently, but that's also a Tony thing and not like, a Mercedes thing.
It's twofold. Yes, it has to be booked, but then as the person who's in the program, that's why it's called a promotion. You have to promote what is going on. You have to make the audience care enough to want to buy into whatever storyline you're into with this person. The same amount of heat and cheering that either you get should raise because you two are interacting. Anytime anyone is pulled, you use the example, so I'm gonna just go off of it. Anytime anyone is pulled in the orbit of Roman, it changes the whole tenor of that character who's involved in the story. It changes the importance of it, and there's an ability to promote it based on the wrestlers being able to talk as well and tell a story in the ring. So,
but do you also get trapped in the bloodline vortex to where like we're looking at like currently and just recently like the LA Knight and shit happened this Friday is like, do we look at it like it's a never ending cycle? Like, are you being raised or are you just being raised because you're part of the biggest programming on TV right now? Is the storyline building you or is it the talent building you?
If there is a problem with the bloodline vortex, it's that there's 39 niggas in their family. So if you fight one, then you're gonna end up fighting all of them at some point.
Right.
But when you're talking about elevating, it's prime time on the programs. It's what belts are you going for? It's how much time do you even have, whether you're cutting a vignette, a promo, etc. The interaction with the fans, like how much do people care? Like when you pop on the screen, what's the reaction? Like those are all metrics or things that can be seen based on you being elevated. with who you're working with and against.
And truth be told, let's not get it twisted. Like anybody who does do programming with Roman, they end up getting paid, whether through merch or whatever. So he is elevating talent's pockets and whatnot. So I do agree with that as well. It's just more so like storylines and like current product on TV is like, yo, like goddamn, how many super kicks we got to see? You know, Kevin Owens take. You know, like it's just even though you're a part of the product, are you being raised? Like, and I guess we won't know until, you know, KO ends up getting the belt. If he beats Cody, it's like, okay, it worked out because this whole thing has been stemming from 4 years ago with him in the bloodline and whatnot. To kind of like get off of this real quick, I do see what you mean. I won't say that she hasn't. I will say that there's been situations where the booking should have followed up to where if Willow did lose, let's keep pushing Willow. Just because she lost doesn't mean that she should just drop off the face of the earth. And I don't think that's happened. I do think that because in AEW you're allowed to work at different promotions and whatnot, the look of building the talent looks just differently. And I say that after watching 2 recent like New Japan shows, like they are fucking booming. Like these are not like no little like, oh, you got demoted. Like, no, you are fucking killing shit over there. But I like that. I like that we are having agreement or not arguments, but battles with people on the socials. I like that they're interacting. I like that, you know, we can bring this back to the pod and talk about it because these are great fucking conversations to have. It is funny that they automatically assume that you were talking about Mercedes. I'm pretty sure you said,
Yeah,
you were like, oh, somebody in another promotion when they're talking about Bobby. I was like, well, Bobby and Mercedes were in the same promotion. So who were you initially talking about that couldn't talk?
no, someone from another promotion. So it wasn't AEW in house. It was someone that came to AEW. So if you just look
okay,
at
okay.
yeah. So
Got you. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll get there. Raw on Netflix, big time, January 6th. Big time in the Intuit Dome in LA. I don't know what I had no expectations, right? I had nothing that I was kind of looking forward to happen here, especially come after the break and not watching anything.
Which is kind of
but
crazy.
I was sports entertained. I was definitely sports entertained through this. I would say 2 of the 4 matches, sports entertained, 1000%. The show kicks off. Triple H tells an incredible like video or shows an incredible video package in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, we get
and kind of like introduces
cold
the world.
Yeah,
it was really fucking dope. He kind of unveils the world of Netflix, what the WWE is and what it's about. Very high production level here. Love everything that's going on. And as soon as he leaves, you know, the show fucking erupts because you hear the final boss take his entrance and makes his way down to the ring. This is interesting.
It's confusing.
Let's talk about it. He kind of starts off with the, you know, talking about Netflix and, you know, how big of a deal it is and like his history and like his dad and everything like that. But then it takes an interesting kind of like turn because he thanks the Netflix executives and then he thanks Cody Rhodes for this happening. And he thanks Roman Reigns for this happening. And it was just interesting because, you know, is this Dwayne the
Yes.
head of like, is it Dwayne out of character? Is it Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock?
It is Dwayne Johnson.
He showed up 5 o'clock shadow. He's kissing babies and shit. When we last saw him, he was a bad guy.
Right. So in the world of wrestling, are we supposed to look at that and be like, oh, that's Dwayne, not final boss?
Yes.
Why?
Because this is not for those who have been watching for the last year. This is to draw the biggest audience, to bring in more eyes to the product. And even not like initially, I was like, what the fuck? Like, thanking Cody. Like, I had this whole thing. And then I was like, well, I have to remember, like, we're not the only ones that are watching this. There's other people in the world that may be watching it. This is to bring people in, to show them what WWE is. And if you have not been tapped in the last year, it could be pretty jarring to see The Rock beat the shit out of Cody, cut him, and make him bleed the first time you've seen The Rock back in wrestling, if you have not been tapped in.
What's your take, Hero?
What DT said is, I would say it's slightly correct. I don't know if I would say jarring if you attack somebody or if he went off the cuff and did what he did on literally the next day on NXT. I mean, if you combine what he did on Monday and also what he did on Tuesday, I don't know. It's just really confusing. And even though, I mean, all this whole episode was like it was trying to also bring in new people. It wasn't necessarily for
1000%.
people for us who've been tapped in consistently. But I mean, there was still obviously shit for us because obviously watched the show. But yeah, I mean, the coming there unshaved and like super thanking everybody. That to me was jarring. I mean, honestly, but no, like I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. The part that's the most confusing is the question of are we still going to quote unquote get a Mania program with him or not? I think we're still going to see him. We're definitely still going to see him, but if we see him again in April, is it going to be exactly what we just saw? That's, I guess, my biggest take or question of it. After having days to sit on, or to think on it, I mean, yeah, my biggest feeling is I was just a little confused. I'm not going to hate on it or anything. I was just mostly confused. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Where's the direction going?
And I think that's fair because a lot of people, and including myself, was sitting there like, okay, well, what is Rock's involvement? We've been hearing a lot of mixed things of whether or not he's going to be on the show, he's not going to be on the show. I think they've come out and confirmed that the plans of Rock versus Roman has been scrapped, so it's not going to be Rock versus Roman. And I think for the people who are invested in WWE product, like we've been waiting for them to touch, pause. We've been waiting for like Rock versus Roman. That's kind of like what they've been hinting at and been playing with for years. And it's not like we've made this up on our own. They've been speculating at this for about 2 years now. Like,
or just even the last, like if we're taking January to January, it's either Rock versus Roman or Rock versus Cody. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be.
Right.
I'm not going to say I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get either one, because in the grand scheme of things, we don't necessarily need the Rock in a similar way. Like we don't need Brock. We don't. There's a lot of these old stars or whatever that we don't need per se. Like the business is going to continue to be fire. It's just that from January to January, I don't know. It's confusing. And yeah.
My thing's like, don't give us the hope. Don't show us it like, oh, we can do this. And you see like the social media views and like the engagement from fans, and then like, oh yeah, we're not going to do it. And I think a lot of it is like not necessarily on like Triple H or anybody in WWE. It's just more so like Rock's a busy person. Like, can he dedicate 2 months, 8 weeks, 12 weeks to like, give to W programming consistently? That's not for me to say that Rock is a busy person, so I don't know. I guess I already got my answer to the question that I was going to ask, but I'll ask anyway. Does this affect us in any way? If no Rock Roman touch, like, do we still want to see it? Do you want to see it dead now? Like, where do you want it to go? If he doesn't show up at this Mania, are we still looking forward to a next Mania, or should we just like, hey, if it's not going to happen, don't touch it?
Detail.
Here's what I think is happening. I think because of what happened last year, and because The Rock effectively, quote unquote, chose to, or not chose to, whatever the case was, to do the job for Cody after they had alluded to the Rock versus Roman match, I don't think we're going to get Rock and Roman.
Okay.
And I think the crybabies cried enough and they got what they wanted. And now because of that, if I was The Rock, I wouldn't be that invested in doing the programming. Because for what? So unless people can show that they use the same energy and the same intent that they use for Cody because CM Punk tore his tricep. If I'm The Rock, y'all didn't want to see me do it, so it doesn't matter. Let's not do it. I'll just let WWE, and you guys are hot. I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. I'll pop up and do my. I don't want to be a bad guy if it's not gonna lead to anything. I already did it last year. It kind of is what it is. That's what I think is happening.
Yes.
And so if that is
we pod today, we pod, baby.
If that's the case, if that is the case, it is what it is. The moment that I would have liked was hijacked by other people, which is fine. That's what happens. Apparently, you can cry enough and get what you want. So that's what niggas did. And so Cody's been the champion. He has defended the belt 4 times in the last year. Same much as Roman. You see him more often. Great. You got what you wanted. The belt's off. All of this could have happened. Could have still had the belt. Could have still been reigning champion for a year. But this is the direction we're going now because The Rock is going to make himself busy. Which, if I was him, I would do it too. Y'all knew what this was. We talked about this for 4 years. We alluded to it in different programs.
Several different TV shows. Young Rock.
Yeah,
they
on
was
the
talking
Young
about
Rock, on everything. Like it was, we were building it and waiting for the right time to do it. And then what happened. CM Punk tore his tricep. Homeboy had to go over. He pointed at the sign. People lost their shit. Then he pointed at Roman. It is what it is. This is where we're at now. And so hopefully you guys get all the
Bloodline
things
DT coming out.
that
I like this shit.
it's just it's what like what? Listen. I have more, but I know Hero's over there seething, and he's gonna.
Let's go.
Mr.
Heroic. Mr. Heroic, come on over.
He wants to respond.
No, because the absolute glazing is atrocious.
I'm going to
can't say
it's not glazing.
Yeah,
it's not.
You can't.
Hold on,
you cannot say.
I'm
You have like
not
2
done making
minutes.
my point. Hold on. I'm not done.
Hey,
I'm not done.
DT, in closing, get your shit off, and we're gonna pass the ball. All right.
I'm about to close it out. In closing, if The Rock chooses not to wrestle, just like Hero just said, WWE is going to be fine because they don't need him. So the moment is past. If he does choose to wrestle, fantastic. Great. I would love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Been waiting on it forever. But if he doesn't, hey, like you said, WWE doesn't need him. The product's going to be hot regardless. Nobody needs a final boss. Take it away.
Heroic.
Glazing is atrocious.
Come on up.
You can't say, oh, the fans hijacked something that The Rock was already hijacking. There was a whole year previously at WrestleMania, was it 39, 38? People were waiting for this Cody shit. Just because someone did something on a show that has nothing to do with the WWE program does not mean you're building a story. The Rock had multiple years, since 2015, to do this match, if he wanted to really do this match. He came in at a moment that was hot, because things were hot, a story that was already being built since WrestleMania 38, when Cody returned, and then people are crying because we want the payoff that we've been waiting for. So a hijacker hijacks something, and everyone is upset.
I have a question. Just based on what you said. If you said he could have did it in 2015, and we've been waiting for it, or whatever the case, then would you not think that story was going longer, or no?
There was no story. That's the thing.
Yeah,
there was zero story.
There was no story.
There was never a story.
But
The Rock just randomly shows up every once in a while.
Okay.
That's not a story. What was going on with Cody at the LA WrestleMania? That was a story. We waited a whole other extra year. We waited damn near 2 years because Cody came back at 37, 38.
He came back at Dallas, right?
Yeah, 38. So that's when he returned. Everything was pretty much, he's going to eventually get this title. He's going to, quote unquote, finish the story. He lost at 39. We had to wait a whole year. And in that process of waiting a whole year, another dude who likes to randomly show up, just like the father who just left you, he comes back and he's like, oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me take this from you, big dog, because I've been waiting. I've hinted on this on my CBS show that nobody fucking watches. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. He's the real hijacker, if anything.
Ooh.
And the thing is, if you're talking about payoff, what did he whisper in Cody's ear? What did he put in Cody's hand? They were setting up something. So if he backs out of it now, that again, sure, that's fine. But then as fans, we're not getting another payoff because people's emotions. You try to steal someone's spot because he's done it before. He's done it to Punk. He's done it to Cena. He's done it before. Fans didn't want him to steal his spot. You know what would have if we would have got Rock and Roman last year and Roman keeps this title, you know how many fans would have went back to AEW because of how upset we were, or how upset they were because it would have seemed like more Vince booking. You're putting this older person who is a part timer taking up other spots.
Okay,
because they could have very well did it on night one and Roman could have wrestled on night 2. You see, they were both capable of wrestling 2 nights in a row. You already made WrestleMania 2 nights.
I'm gonna interject.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go because go ahead.
Interject. I do see both sides of this coin here, which is really fucking interesting because y'all niggas is good. But on the hero side of it, it's like I do understand that. Hey, we already had this shit. This boat was moving. Why do we have to stop this boat? Because Rock's here. Let's finish what we already started with Cody and whatnot. And I will admit that, if Rock was showing up at 2015 when Roman was there, you could have done this then, but you only jumped in when the story was the hottest, when he was the biggest, person there. Now,
I have a response to that too. Yep.
Now,
go ahead.
Here where we go. On your side of it, I also understand that like Roman is the biggest thing possible. Like the heat that he has, the momentum that he has is out of this world. Because we've got to see Cody as a champion, and let's say Hero's prediction was correct to where Roman would have beat Cody the second time. All it would have done was made the bloodline shit even as hotter. Like he was never going to lose steam. At least I don't think so. So with that being said, either way could have happened. I do agree with finishing the story, but also understand that Roman is the biggest draw in WWE right now. Facts. Like it doesn't matter who he faces. He is the biggest fucking draw. Now, DT, we're going to close it out. Then we're going to get into the match. What do you have to say?
Why would I come back in 2015 and wrestle my cousin who was getting universally booed everywhere? Nobody wants to see him wrestle. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants the belt on him because some guy left the company, made a podcast, and talked about what the plans were.
I mean, 2015 is just one example. That Roman, he had main event in Tampa. He had a main event in Dallas. There's other WrestleManias that Rock could have hijacked if he wanted to.
Do you think Rock was incapable of making Roman or putting a Roman over? Do you think they would just hate Roman even more?
At that time, yeah, because there's the clip of him winning the Rumble, and then he goes out, tries to give him the rub, raises his hand, and they're still booing.
Right.
Like that, like
that's 2015. So, but Rock could have showed up in 2020, 2021, 2022. There's other WrestleManias that he instead of giving us Edge and Daniel Bryan, we could have got Rock at that Mania. We could have got Rock at the Mania where he fought Brock again and unified the belts. There's other Manias that he could have taken. But you wait to take it when fans have been waiting for this one character to finally do something.
You don't know what his schedule was. That's the only thing. And you can call that blazing, but legitimately, you do not know what his schedule was. No one knows. The nigga was trying to do Black Adam, which got panned. He tried to do multiple different movies. He was in 8 Jumanjis. You don't know what his schedule was.
But I think that's also the detriment to Rock, though, too, is that a lot of time when you do these Hollywood projects and they don't go off as big as you think they should, you end up coming back to WWE. You'll end up coming in, getting a quick check, and just bouncing. Allegedly. These are all allegations. I don't know shit. But, it's just very, interesting to see that, when Red One happens and then that shit doesn't really pop off. It's like, okay, Rock's back here in January and, he's going off.
Red One was
to get back to the original point of this, though, I do believe that it is slightly confusing that he came out as Dwayne Johnson and not The Rock, and then expected people to know the difference because you've been in and out of the programming for so long. Pick a side, make a choice. It's either shit or go off the pot. Either you in it or you not in it. And if you're not in it, let us orchestrate and go how we need to go. That's how I look at it right now.
Well, clearly he's based on everything that we're hearing and we've seen online. He's not in it. So
let's just move it. Yeah. Let's just move it. First match of the night. Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns. Tribal Combat. Right? That's what we got here. My first initial thoughts of this match, bro, them boys was wrestling. This is the first time I've seen Roman, he was actually getting down. They were both very active in this match. Solo looks fucking great. What do we, before we get into the shenanigans that happened, overall in-ring action and in-ring performance, how do we feel? What's the thoughts that y'all saw when y'all checked it out?
Go ahead, Hero, you got it.
Solo has been, we've been talking about it multiple times. Solo's been getting better and better. Roman made Solo look good. I've seen some people down on the match, how slow and methodical Solo works, but he was playing the heel in this, and he got the mighty thumb. So he has to kind of play the methodical heel role. He's not going to be doing backflips and all this other shit. Uh, um, I skeeted. I don't. We have to figure out a different name for this. But I was like, oh, because Solo was talking shit. And I was like, all right, we're officially in Bloodline Cinema now. Because like once they start talking while they beating your ass, and you hear all these I love yous and yada yada, y'all have a weird face. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was me, so I started unplugging all kind of shit. I started unplugging everything.
That nigga sounded like a CD player that got dropped. That nigga was skipping everywhere.
Gosh.
That was Solo and James Brown popped up. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
He's like, got the
do I sound better? Do I sound okay now?
You sound clearer now. Yeah, you sound okay now.
I was like, it's Bloodline Cinema when niggas start like talking shit. When, like when you get when they beat your ass and they start talking, I love you, all this other stuff. I was like, all right, now we're in the cinema. But the match itself was fine. I will regret if I don't say this, but I hate tribal combat matches. Again, not a tiki torch, not a coconut, not a single fucking pine tree. Like, for the love of God, like, I don't understand why we can't do these or like on a beach, fight in the sand. Like, what is going? Like, I don't like it. I do not like it. I just do not like it.
Because there's no such thing. Like, okay, like it's a stipulation match, but there's no like theme to the stipulation match. It's like it's just interference.
It's just DQ.
No holds bars.
It's just a
like
DQ
just no DQ. It's like, okay, if it's an Inferno match, we know it's fire. If it's cage match, cage. Coffin match, coffins. Like, there's a stipulation that you can visually see and be like, okay, that makes sense. Tribal combat is just nothing but gang warfare.
Yeah, between two Samoans. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Pick up a shield. Give him a spear. I want to see some Wakanda shit.
Okay, no. No.
Oh my
God. Is that wild? Am I bugging?
That nigga had me. Yeah, you
tripping. Hella bugging,
you tripping.
Bro.
That nigga tripping. That nigga.
You're hella bugging. You bugging like that Stone Cold impersonator that called you Booker T just because you was black and had dreads.
Yeah, bugging. Yeah. Okay, DT, what we think about the match?
It was fine. It was a fine match. Like, we knew the outcome, or what the outcome had to be. I'm more so worried about the fallout from the match than anything else. I think there was a couple points with the, like, not the actual physicality of the match, but there were points where I was intrigued about if there was a chance that there was going to be sort of a change in The Rock now that the introduction and Dwayne was going. I thought he was going to flip to the final boss and take the Ulafala and beat the shit out of Roman and leave and say he the high chief, but that's not what happened. Overall, though, like Hero said, I think once Solo started talking in the match, like, I loved you, I always loved you, you never loved me, you only use me, like that. To me, that's gonna help him when he comes back this Friday. I think he's gonna be able to expand and elaborate on that, and I'm really excited for that piece. But the match was fine. It was great overall. I didn't like it was I'm gonna use the 2 words or 3 words, a typical Roman match. It was good though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. To kind of go back into the typical Roman match, it's because like there's so much interference here. We see Bloodline come out, or Solo's Bloodline with Tama and Jacob. And then we get Jimmy coming out for Roman and whatnot.
Sammy.
And then we see Cody, Jimmy and Sammy come out. We then see KO comes out, which is like, oh shit, why the fuck is KO here?
That was a big shocker to me. I was like, what the fuck?
No, for sure. For sure. Huge shocker.
I think I skeeted or tweeted that too.
We got to come up with a different term.
That's what it's called.
We didn't make up
I don't give a damn what's it called.
Yeah, we didn't make up the rules, unfortunately.
Nigga, send me Sky Mail, nigga. Don't be telling me skeeted. No, something. I don't know. We got to stop saying that though.
I tweeted, skeeted 5 letters. WTFKO.
No.
That was it.
Okay.
With Cody shows up.
Cody shows up.
Another thing with the tribal combat matches is that, I mean, granted, I like this one. This was probably the better of all the 3, but they're very overbooked the shit, and because they're so no DQ. So yeah, again, it's like every tribal combat match or every what's the other one? It's tribal combat and Tribal Warfare or whatever the fuck, or whichever one Cody was. I don't know. Either way, they're all overbooked, and they all look like Avenger in-game moments because there's like 15 motherfuckers always showing up. But
somebody compared it to like Mania, the Mania match with him and Cody. Like it was just a lot of like interference to kind of keep the energy up and whatnot.
But yeah, the match was good. And to go off what DT said, I mean, I was actually kind of shocked that Solo lost. I thought Solo was going to win. This one.
Definitely didn't want him to lose. I thought he definitely should have got the win here.
So I'm also concerned about the what's going to happen next because Solo wasn't here this Friday. Obviously, we saw Bloodline, but yeah, so I'm also kind of. Which makes me question again, it just makes my gears turn about Mania because, like, if we're for sure not getting Rock, we already did the Roman Solo match. So what the hell is Roman going to end up doing? But we'll see. I mean, it could still be Punk. That's my theory.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're leaning.
After War Games or right before War Games, I told you guys like, ooh, look at those numbers. They might actually do this. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely thought Solo should have got that one out. But after you get out of that, Rock comes out. He, hands Roman the Ulafala. Like it looks like we're gonna get some kind of like moment that's gonna happen between them, and they just shake hands, hug it out, and that was it.
Good match, very anticlimactic. That's what I would say. That would be my final. It was just anticlimactic.
Very.
That would be the best.
Especially when they're the biggest cinema in wrestling right now. Like I didn't expect anything anticlimactic to come from the Bloodline. Yeah, I don't know. With Rock showing up, I was like, there was no attacking. Like DT was mentioned, like maybe he takes it for himself. There was nothing. It was just there. He just showed up. And I didn't check NXT because I did see that he came on NXT to get his shit off. But at the same time, I feel like if you have the moment to get your shit off on Raw. Or everybody's fucking watching.
I'll put the clip in the chat. But yeah, he was cussing, and essentially his promo was replying to everyone's reaction to Monday about why are you so nice? What the hell is going on?
Like, what's this?
Yeah, so.
I just saw you. And to be fair, like you said, you can't be out here like, oh man, like thank you, Cody. And then last year was. Oh, whoop your ass with Mama Rose. Like, it was like a lot of like, all that shit. It's like, I made him bleed. Like, wait, what, nigga?
On Rock's hands.
Like, belt to ass. Like, I don't, all right, okay. People have the right to feel how they feel. After that, we get a cool little New Day promo in the crowd. Kofi out there wearing that shit with the leopard print on and everything.
Oh, man. Please stop going in Swerve's closet, bro. What are you doing, Kofi? Also, the beard with no mustache combination?
No stash?
Insane.
Crazy work, yo. I did see a lot of like Kofi and Woods over like the break and whatnot. And I did see the clip where his mom like just walks off on him. And I'm like, damn, them motherfuckers is cooking. They definitely cooking.
Yeah, did he the Christmas photo?
The Christmas photo. He blacked her out. Yeah, they moving, yo.
I got commercials, so I missed this, and I missed the Miz with Final Testament because I had commercials. And granted, I did not complain about the commercials. I saw a lot of people complain about commercials.
I didn't.
I don't pay for my Netflix, so I ain't got no complaints. I get what I get.
Wait. You didn't have commercials?
No. I didn't have a single commercial.
What plan?
I was trying to figure. I don't know. I really don't know. I was watching you niggas on the timeline, like, oh my god, these commercials are killing me. I was like, what commercials?
Oh, this nigga rich.
Oh man,
I was sitting talking about me again.
I saw everything. I was like,
you had to share that.
Again, another commercial. I'm like, what you mean?
You have to share that password.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I did not have any commercials. That shit was smooth for you.
Commercial in the commercials. It was only like 2 or 3. It was a very in the way that they were placed. It was very normal. It was like in a spot that you would see on TV where it's like, oh, he just did a moonsault. We'll be right back. It was very normal.
Yeah. So for me, when they would do like those spots and like, oh, where the commercial break should be, it just faded to black and came right back to the match. Now I was like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Paying $39.99 monthly.
Look, whatever it is.
That's what that is. Yeah, shout out to my nigga because
I'm not paying 40.
I am not.
After that, we get the farewell tour is beginning.
Oh man,
John Cena is here, man. The tour is hitting. He came out in his Dodger blue, looking fly.
No.
And he's getting his shit off. He's talking about, you know, the 17th championship maybe probably won't happen.
But never say never in WWE. It would take a miracle.
Yeah, never say never.
I would have to win the Money in the Bank. I would have to go to Elimination Chamber. I would have to win the Royal Rumble. Bro, Cena is that guy. If, like, anytime Cena's that guy. That's all I really got to say. It made me emotional. Not emotional like I was going to cry or nothing, but it was like he is so good at talking to where you would want to run through a wall for him. He's so good. Like,
generational talent.
It's just good. It's just good. Like, man, I can't wait till this shit to like really start cooking and he hit somebody with that first fine speech. I can't wait.
And so as I'm watching this, I'm like, damn, like there is so many different ways that you can like book Cena and whatnot. And they already have it figured out, of course. But what would you like to see Cena do? Would you like him to like do Cody versus Cena? Would you like to see Cena versus Gunther? Nope. Do you want him to win Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank? Like, what do you want to see out of this last run with John Cena?
I want everything, but I specifically would like to see Punk and Cena. I want to see that.
Honestly, I do think I want the 17 to happen, but it's one of those things where it has to come off. It shouldn't come off so in your face, I guess, to where it's like I could have worded that better. But like if he wins the Rumble, then it's like I don't know. I want the 17 to happen, but it's like we know he's done in December. So how do you make that happen to where he gets the title? But we all know as fans he's going to leave. It's very similar to what happened with Bryan Danielson. And if they can do that same thing, but without it being so obvious that he's going to lose his literally next defense or something, then that's the way they should go. I would love to see him in the final two of the Rumble and almost win, but then he loses. Like, I think he should lose.
I think that's going to happen.
He should lose that and maybe Chamber, just to get our hopes up and like he's this close, he can do it. Like, but yeah, like I feel like they really got to pull on the heartstrings. I think Cena and Gunther would hit. Cena and Punk would hit. Honestly, I think they should roll back all his feuds. Let me get a match with him and Randy. I want a match with him and Carlito. Yeah, I want all his biggest ops. Like start with Carlito and then work your way up the fight tower on like Mortal Kombat.
Sheamus.
Yep, all of it.
How I look at it is that I think if he gets 17, I would prefer it over Gunther. I think that like Cena beating Gunther would be like, so it'd be tight. I think I would really enjoy that. If he carries it until December, I think the person who should take it from him would be Drew. I think Drew taking out Cena would be top level heel work. Like I'm thinking about who would benefit the most from that moment. Of course, Punk is going to be Punk. You know, he's going to get his shit off. Gunther is always going to get his shit off. But I think if Drew McIntyre in Cena, it's going to put him in a different fucking stratosphere. Not saying that Drew needs to be there, but I think that he would be the heel in WWE.
He hasn't been for the last year? Because
he has, he has for sure. But I think by that point, it'd be undeniable. I think like you cannot say that Drew McIntyre is not the best heel of this current era to end Cena. Also, man, whoever does end Cena, like that's a hell of a fucking like rub. Because I don't think Cena's going to go out winning. I think he's going to go out trying to put somebody over. Yeah, I just hope it's the right individual.
Knowing him, he would put somebody over. And honestly, if that's the case, I would give it to Gunther to get put over because he's younger than Drew in the aspect of that he's been in the company less years than Drew.
True. It could also just be a callback. If he beats him in Mania, he beats him on the way out. Like that could also work. There's storylines there.
But
there is still the opportunity too for Cena and LA Knight. They had like a smidge of a tiff the last time that Cena was in.
That's because LA Knight's weird though. I'm gonna blame LA Knight for that one. He's like he doesn't know how to react to friends.
Yeah,
he does like
I would like that though. I would like to see them go back and forth on the mic.
And there's been a lot of hints about Cena and Logan. Run that too. I mean, Logan's pretty much fought everyone who's been on his pod, so you might as well run that at some point. But it doesn't have, it could be a one-off.
Would you want to see Cena and Breaker?
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact,
I was thinking
I changed my vote. Have Breaker be the one to end his life.
That would be ill.
that would put him.
Breaker ends it would be ill.
That would put him in the main card.
Easy.
Title picture.
Easy.
That would do it. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Breaker Cena should definitely be the finale. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Are there any dogs barking here?
Bark, 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 bark.
Oh God.
We get from here Liv versus Rhea Women's Championship. Finally, it's done. We are out of it.
I'm glad it's over, but the wrong person won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Take it off.
No, I agree. I agree that Liv should have been the one that came out with the belt still. Because I don't think Rhea needs it. I don't think Rhea needed to be in the feud with Liv for fucking 6 months or whatever.
And Rhea's already beaten everyone on that roster. That was my thing. It was she's already beaten everybody on that roster. Like Liv still had way more matches that she could have got off with newer opponents.
Unless the outcome of the winner of the Women's Rumble is going to go after Rhea.
Right.
You got 3 women coming back.
But I don't want to see Rhea and Charlotte again, so then it might be Becky, but then we also literally.
But who's the heel in that?
Last year.
It's I
don't know.
Yeah, it's very interesting, man. The match is cool. I was just ready for it to be over with. It's also kind of hard to follow, bloodline shit. But I don't know, man. I just hope that with this belt now we get the right people to go after, Rhea. Who's a heel that we want to see go after Rhea? Assuming Rhea is the face in this, which I'm.
She's a face right now. Bro, it's either gonna be Raquel or she's gonna be beefing with PFC, and I don't want either.
Or they run Liv again, and it's I don't want you to do that either.
No, in the video package they said this was the last one, at least for a minute. So they should not be touching. So then, as far as the food chain goes, it's Raquel, but then that's still attached to Rhea, to Liv. So then I don't think they're going to do that. So then there's PFC, and that's going to just be great.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know because the breaking shit. Did Io ever cash in on her opportunity? Did that already happen?
Yeah. So that was the Saturday night main event. So I was about to say,
okay.
For Mania, we could get Liv and we can get Io and Ripley. That would be heat, and then get Charlotte and Tiffany for SmackDown.
I think Charlotte and Tiffany should definitely happen. I think I do want to see that. Very similar styles, kind of old wave with the new wave. I would definitely love to see, Charlotte work.
As of right, if I had to put pen to paper as of right now, I think it might be Rhea and Io. I think Io wins the Rumble. As of right now, that's my pick.
Yeah.
There's still a chance that Bianca is the one that put Jade down, and if that's the case, Bianca could be the heel for Rhea.
And which is also interesting because, wasn't Bianca in a match when Jade went down, or do we just assume that she did it prior to the match?
So, we don't technically. They found her during the match,
right? We
don't know what happened beforehand. And initially, I was somebody who was like, "Oh no, it wasn't Bianca," but. I don't know, bro. It's just the more it wasn't Bianca, the more it is Bianca. If that makes sense.
I don't think it's Bianca. I think it's Bayley or Naomi.
I just can't see it being Naomi yet.
My thing is, I think Bayley did it for Naomi on some Rikishi shit. I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock.
I think Bayley did it for Naomi. That's my booking right now. Bayley did it for Naomi, and they both had purple hair this last week. I don't know. Something's up. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Of course, Rhea gets the win here, and we get a quick little Undertaker moment where Taker pops off, and he's riding the American Badass chopper around the ring and whatnot. And he kind of gives Rhea the rub, kind of whispers something in her ear, similar to how he did Bray and people that he's really admired and whatnot. Any thoughts here? Like, just was it just like,
time.
Sacred's here? Like, did you? Okay, I
Time.
thought the same thing. I don't want to come off crazy. I don't want to come off looking like I was hating.
It's cool that she gets the rub because he doesn't usually give. She doesn't usually give women talent that kind of rub, pause, or whatever. But yeah, no, like for one, I don't think a lot of fans. I mean, granted, I was a biker. I'm a huge biker Taker fan. I think most people, when they hear the gong, they want to see the other version of Taker. Then you have him right around the ring while she just sits there looking like a goof on the ramp, waiting for him to fucking come back. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was a waste of time. It was just them getting Taker out there. Okay. In my opinion.
Just to get him on screen and whatnot. All right. We get a quick little promo backstage with American Made, and I think Chad is talking to Pierce, and he says, "Send me the best luchador possible." We all know what this is going to be. You know, Pence is going to get his rub against not his rub, his first match against Chad Gable. And here's my thing, is that it's initially 1v1, but American Made's the team.
You don't want it to be
so who's gonna help him?
No.
Who's gonna help him?
Who's gonna help him? Huh? Who's gonna help him? I swear to fucking God, you niggas about to make me crash out on this bitch. I swear, bro, on everything. If this nigga come out and this Ray and LWO come down to help, I'm going to Connecticut. I'm going to the building. I promise you, bro. This nigga is tripping, bro. Niggas is tripping. You got me fucked up, cuz. Like, what the hell? I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna love to see my boy out there wrestling, getting that check, because nothing's better than getting a big bag. But my God, bro, if he is with LWO, I'm going to fucking scream. At least let it be Andrade. Like somebody not in LWO. If it's like Andrade come out and help him, cool. But don't jump straight into LWO. For the life of me, please don't give me that.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna like join the group.
It don't matter. It's too close. In this day one, bro, it's crazy, my nigga. Day one is crazy. He gonna get the win over Chad, but then it's gonna be like a jumping session. They're gonna jump him. It's like he's gonna need some help, and all you're gonna see is fucking LWO shirts. Cause where they at? I think they're in San Jose for show. Yeah, for show, they're coming out.
Look. What if? Just what if? All right. What if
it's gonna be
Penta is booked is booked as you guys are just not being optimistic. You're just not being optimistic.
What, the San Jose Sharks is gonna help him? Nigga, it's gonna be LWO. And I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna like it.
Hey man, you got me fucked up. Hey, you better not let him get jumped by himself. At least wait until next week. If he gets jumped by himself in the ring and nobody comes to help, cool. I'm fine with it. But if they come out to help him immediately on day one, bro, I'm going to be tight.
I've never seen a fan be like, bro, let my nigga die. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, and everything. Nigga, let him go out. Get him stomped the fuck out. No help. Please. Don't do me.
What was your guess, DT? Please say the San Jose Sharks.
What if, just off chance, what if Penta beats the dog shit out of Chad Gable, and then American Made attempts to jump in, and he beat their ass too?
I'm cool with that too.
And he's presented as the strongest luchador in WWE. Ray might be the greatest, but from the clips that I watched, Penta work, he don't need no help.
Okay, respectfully, you're not getting that Penta. Like whatever clips you've seen, you're not getting that Penta.
Why not?
Half the shit he's doing in those clips, he can't do in WWE. It's not gonna happen. Just bring it down a little bit. He's still gonna be great. But like
Gunther said, that's the hardest.
He gonna chop the fuck out of somebody.
Was from Penta.
Look,
and that's coming from Gunther, that's also crazy. But that nigga really do be chopping the fuck out of niggas.
But to go off of what DT said, like if they book him, like, because that's something Jake Fatu would do. So if they booked him like that, okay,
Cool.
Yeah, like why not let him be? You're introducing a whole new character that you're assuming the WWE world doesn't know. You've been doing these I don't even want to call them vignettes, but you've been alluding to them for the last month and teasers for the last month and a half almost. Make him the strongest to come into WWE. And in that way, Ray Phoenix would be like, damn, CTK, you fucking me up.
If my nigga get jumped by LWO, I will come on this pod next week and be like, this is all TK's fault. If my nigga get jumped by American Made and LWO come out to help, TK fault. Should have let that nigga go so he can at least have his brother there with him. That'd been cool. And then LW pop up, but nah.
Can you imagine?
I'm ready for it. Just let this Monday hurry up and come on. I'm ready to get this shit off my chest. The anxiety's high. Don't have this nigga get fucking fucked over, bro. In San Jose. That'd be fucking crazy.
Think about this presentation. He comes out, destroys everybody, puts the Raw roster on notice, and then hopefully a month later or whatever the case, Phoenix is released, and that builds them both up.
Yeah, hopefully.
That would be fire.
What we got, Hero?
We got the worst match on the show coming up next.
Yep. Biggest spot of this match was Travis Scott coming out with the blunt.
Yeah. It's a joint. I mean, I know you don't smoke, but it's a joint.
That nigga, there was yeeting and shit. That nigga had the whole yeet shit. There's fanning the fucking fumes in the kids' faces and shit. A kid definitely got secondhand high.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's California. I mean, there's contact highs everywhere. Oh, shit. We buried the lead. Speaking of that.
Yeah, run that back. And it ain't burying the lead.
I was going to say prayers and thoughts to everyone in the fires that are going on right now in California.
Absolutely. 1,000%, bro. 1,000%. I'm glad. Like I saw like a post where they're talking about Melina was missing, or they haven't heard from her. I saw a post that they found her. She's in contact. So that's fucking great too. Yeah. But yeah, man, shout out, like prayers to everybody in California. That shit's fucking devastating. It's absolutely devastating. Yeah.
Just like this
regardless of how you feel about people who got money in them houses, use the asshole. I'm gonna get back to you. I heard that shit, nigga. Regardless how you feel about rich people and shit like that, nobody deserved that, like a home burned down and shit.
And it's not just rich people. That's just like, yeah, like I don't know why people just think it's only the billionaires' houses. They like, there's a lot of people who are normal, who are lower, and a
lot of black people. Like Pasadena's a huge like population of black people. So
it's affecting a lot of people. I texted my aunt lives in California. I mean, she said her house is fine, but like she knows 4 or 5 people that lost everything. You know, and it's like
that's fucking tragic.
It's touching everybody, and like, yeah. So,
all right, now speaking of matches that should have been put out,
this match was terrible.
This one here,
and it's not.
It was bad, bro.
It's one of those things because both guys are over. Jay is easily one of the most over motherfuckers in any company, almost
1,000%.
And we know he can put on good matches. We've seen them, but Jay is very inconsistent because you will never like. You kind of never know what you're going to get. You're going to get a match like this, or the match at Mania, or you're going to get like the match with him and Braun Breaker, or or something like that. And it's not consistent. This match. I think this match was only 10 minutes, but it felt like fucking 20.
Yeah, and I was looking at while the match was going on, I was like, I felt like the crowd was kind of drained.
Yeah, it was killing the crowd.
I think when you had Liv and Rhea, and then you followed with this match, like they were already kind of like, damn, like a little out of it. So much so that it took a little bit from like the main event match to get them back up into like the fucking moment and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I thought this was going to be an easy, solid match. It just did not like do it for me.
Yeah. I don't know. It was. I think it was a little too long or something. Jay wins the match. He wins with the roll up. He kind of like tricks Drew into trying to go for a Claymore, but he like ducks down, hits him with a schoolboy or something like that. So we'll see that feud continuing. But yeah, it was very low energy.
And this was also like the match where everybody's kicking out of finishers this show too. There was so many finishers being like kicked out of and whatnot, and I was like, damn, this is kicked out of a Claymore. Like, yeah, the fuck is going on here?
Which is not like what do we do? Like, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that was my thought.
I feel like nothing. Cool.
Nah,
I thought he was going some kind of rebuttal.
No, the only thing I was gonna say is Travis Scott clearly does not pay attention to the internet, because he fucked up his entrance. So he should have been yeeting during the Fiend, because that has been a thing on the internet.
Man,
for the last 6 months, 8 months. And had he done that and had the crowd like on beat,
bro, would have been the biggest fucking moment.
Yeah, but he was too concerned with smoking weed. So that I was actually like disappointed in Travis Scott for that.
When I heard Fiend pop on, I was like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna fucking do it. Like, this is gonna be fucking ill. And then they didn't. And I was like, God, I was like,
what the fuck?
Damn.
And they gave him time, but he didn't. Like, if you've ever seen Travis Scott perform, he's uncoordinated. So he has no rhythm, which is why his music is the way that it is.
I'm sorry. I came back and I walked into that. That's fucking hilarious.
I've seen Travis Scott perform 4 times. The only time I haven't seen him perform was Astroworld. He literally doesn't have any rhythm, and you could see there when he came out, he just wanted it to be like a "I'm cool" aura moment. Yeah. Instead of like interacting with while Fiend is going, you should be geeting and getting.
Oh my God, that'd have been fucking dope.
It's been going on the internet for the last 8 months. He fucked it up. I think he fucked up the tone of the match. If I had to be true.
All right. After that, we see that there's a Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman promo where he says, the 27th there'll be a tribal chief acknowledgement ceremony, and
which is a Monday.
And I didn't know if this was something for Raw or if this was something for the game.
I think it's for usually both.
Yeah, I think both.
Okay.
He's probably going to be the cover athlete, which is exciting.
Probably because
the last time he was on it was like one of the worst. It was him and Becky, and that was like the worst one where they had to take a break. It was like that shit
was nuts.
I wish they'd do that for NBA 2K. Take a fucking break. They just get so much money in these microtransactions. Anyway,
sure. Ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Holla of the night.
Yes, it was
Hulk fucking Hogan.
Can we just?
Oh,
I just want to
before we go into this real quick, because I wrote it down. I didn't want to forget. Just real quick, the loudest pop of the night was Macaulay Culkin, and I feel like that needs
1000%.
It needs to be acknowledged. His pop was louder than The Rock's, my nigga, and that's crazy.
Yes, yes, bro. Craziest pop of the night was Macaulay Culkin.
It was the presentation. It was how he
did
it. He pulled it up and he was
the swag was on a.
I was like,
yeah, he killed that shit for sure.
And he was next to Seth Green, who got no love. I'm like, damn, that's Chris Griffin. Y'all go give Chris Griffin no love.
Nothing. It's nuts.
that ain't Kevin McAllister, bro.
Nah.
Watch your tone.
Richie Rich, bro. Hey, man. All right. Anyway, let's get into this fuck Terry moment real quick. I just had this. DT,
this was the best moment in all of Raw history. Maybe the best moment in WWE history in the last 4 years, if you ask me. I would say Cody winning at WrestleMania, and then this is right behind it. It was a moment in time where I really felt unified with like the entire world, like truly like
a good amount of people.
Yes, and at first, right? I think what happened was it was great. It was great. The music hits. You see Jimmy Hart come out with the flag, and like there's a mixed reaction at first.
Yeah.
And as soon as Hogan comes out and the music starts to go down, the boos just fill the arena, just cascading off of the walls of the arena.
Sing his song.
It was so glorious, in fact. And you could tell he was like, wait, what? I'm getting booed? And then, he was like, they booing me? And then you can see Jimmy stops waving the flag. He like holds the flag a little closer and step back a little bit.
Hey, I'm not with him.
And then he tries to cut his promo about the fans being forgiving. And the more he talks about the fans forgiving, the louder they boo. And then as he goes to talk about tag team champions and partnering with Macho Man Randy, like the boos they kept getting louder.
Yeah, he like
it was fantastic.
It was and I want to semi apologize because I was a little harsh because I was like I don't think they're booing loud enough. Personally, I wanted Dom when he was in Portland. I wanted the week after the New Day shit. The fact that he even got a word off was a little crazy to me. But I'm going to apologize to California because they did hold it down. They booed the fuck out of him. And yeah, he was getting booed so much to where when he's mentioning other names, they were still booing. It's like,
Still booing. Yeah.
like, bro, like you could say God's name right now, you getting booed, bro. You're so bad, you're bringing everyone else down with you.
Put the mic down and go home, Grandpa.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Party's over,
bro. That shit was crazy. I was like,
and then you see on the internet, same time, real life reaction. You see, fuck Terry's trending, boo Hulk Hogan, and then you see people going, wait, why are they booing Hulk Hogan? It's time to educate. Yeah. You should know.
And then people are like, it's just because you supported Trump. It's like, no, because because
Taker came out there on his bike.
Yeah.
And was
riding out. He was cool.
Yeah.
I think the difference is that like because you're so like outwardly with it, like you live that shit. You put that in people's faces. It's on the shirts that you wearing and everything. You just it was on the put in our face. We gonna fucking.
It was on the shirt. He posted on Instagram that day. He's like, I just arrived, and it's like MAGA, all this other shit. But it's even that. It's even deeper than that. It's obviously it's the racist video.
Racism.
Yep. And it's just like he's one of the biggest grifters. Like he lies literally about everything. Like you can fact check him in real time and everything he says. Like so, it's like you can buy all this. There's like, and Mark Henry's he had a really good quote about it. I don't want to paraphrase it, but it's like he never truly apologized. It was never like he never once apologized. He just thought shit. It's very similar to what he said on Logan or Undertaker's whichever pod he was on that DT quoted. But it's like just thinks people will just forget and forgive. It was like you can't know. Like we didn't forget. Especially in this internet era, like no, bro, like you never legitimately apologized.
Came out and said he was racist. Like he came out like I'm racist, and then like was doubling down on the shit. It's like nigga, like you think you're just gonna walk around and you be God everywhere? Like, not today, not in L.A.
Yeah,
and probably got that shit off in Florida. Like
I don't want to hear that. Oh, he was a legend. He helped popularize wrestling. He brought it mainstream. Don't nobody give a fuck about what you did, gang. Don't nobody give a fuck about what you did. No. We here now. No. Congrats, you had
different generation of niggas, bro. You lost this.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I do love everybody was in unison. Like I was in Blue Sky. I was like, get this nigga the fuck off my screen, and everybody was like, yes, same. Get him out of here.
I went to the other room. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. But I mean, the TV was on, so like I could like. And that's why I was like, and that's why I skeeted like California. I'm a little disappointed because I could still hear some of the words from the other room, and I'm like, those boos ain't loud enough to me. But
get him out.
Yeah, I walked out. I was like, I'm not watching this shit.
Yeah.
So
you got what you got, man.
And
so be it.
We'll talk more about his response to for SmackDown.
Also, the shit was so crazy. They're looking at a different brand ambassador for his own brand. Like WWE's looking at to get somebody else to be the spokesperson for it, which is also very funny because I'm pretty sure he just had the fucking situation where the girl was black and she was promoting shit. He was like, he didn't like that.
Yeah, so, he didn't. Yeah.
Full circle moment,
and it's one of those
full circle moment.
It's one of those things though, and I'm worried because like if they do put someone else to like be the face of it, like we're not dumb. At least not the smart fans. Like we're probably still going to boost. So you have a risk. Just again, like,
fucking somebody over.
Yeah, you have the risk of fucking somebody over. Like I mean,
burying somebody.
Unless you like, even if you make it Roman, I think people are still gonna boo. So it's like you have a risk of fucking over other talent by having someone else.
Nah, they do that. I'm taking this shit off.
Nah. So it's like,
yeah, you got to be careful who you assign that to. Like that's
and as of right now, he's still attached to come to Saturday Night Main Event. Because like we saw a promo during SmackDown, which everyone in DT tweeted about it, but yeah, everyone in SmackDown booed the hell out of that commercial. It wasn't on TV, but we booed the hell out of that commercial.
Every time he appeared on screen, the entire Moda Center booed.
So
and kept booing. They even switched other people's names, and we were still booing.
It's like,
yeah,
I know you heard that in the Back Hunter. I know y'all heard that. Like we don't want him here.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You definitely hear it. Main event time. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Kobe versus Phil. Now, it picked up for me.
Oh yeah.
it started off a little slow, but it's not started off slow. I think just the energy was slow coming off the Hogan shit and everything. The energy was kind of down. But them boys came out the woodworks ready to fucking go. First off, let's get into the attire. Your boy Seth came out in the red leather.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could think about was him from Cow and Chicken. So, your boy's out there fucking... he was out there shining in the red leather.
You couldn't do homie from Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, I think him is
Powerpuff Girls, my bad.
Him is Powerpuff Girls.
But I know you talking about the sausage.
Was.
You talking about the sausage looking nigga from Cow and Chicken.
Yeah. I was like, this nigga's in this all red, demoned out in this bitch.
Hey man.
Yeah.
He
had that shit on.
Yeah, he had that shit on him.
In the match though, straight fists out the gate.
Oh man,
them boys started brawling immediately. What?
Whoa! You only talk about one attire. You didn't talk about somebody else's attire.
Oh, yeah.
Punk came out in I think it's the ROH gear with the X's on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it was? ROH gear? Oh, because I thought it was never mind.
All in gear too.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same gear. It's the same shit.
You know,
it's the same shit. The same shit.
The Jack Perry,
ROH all in.
The Jack Perry.
Yeah, he came out with, and it's kind of ironic that he came out with the fist. He came out immediately, started throwing hands. Like, all right, nigga, I see what you're doing. It's cool. But yeah, straight fisticuffs, bro. Them boys are aggressive off rip, man. Like the energy met the animosity. Like it wasn't like we're gonna try to grapple slow. Nah, fuck that. We don't like each other.
There was a couple live shots, a couple live rounds in there.
Yeah, there was some stiff.
There was a couple live rounds.
Yeah,
there were some stiff ones.
Mm-hmm. They both gave a stiff GTS.
Yeah.
Come on, Seth enthusiast.
Nigga, look, they end up going out. They end up fighting like outside the ring, and Seth is like, let it ride out. We're not doing no count outs or whatnot, which I agree with. Just make the match, no DQ or whatever. Which it should have been because they was fucking brawling anyway. We see this nigga Seth hits a fucking GTS on Punk, and like I was like, the crowd's not amped enough, bro.
Well,
he
hold
put a GTS on, like,
because when he did that first GTS, he hit him with the biggest bar I ever heard in my life, nigga. Okay, so all right, Seth hits him with the GTS, and he's like, "You hear that? I hit your move, and they sing my song, bro." Bars, nigga. That shit's bars. Nigga. And I was like, talk your shit, Seth. Look, all right.
Yeah.
Let me just get on. The match was great. Obviously, I'm a Seth stan, so I'm a little biased. The match was great. I will say this: they made Punk look too strong, though. That is my only complaint. Is that he looked too strong. Because he kicked out of 2 pedigrees, 1 was on the table, kicked out of 2 GTSs and a stomp. That's 5 big ass.
That pedigree
moves.
one was the pedigree on the table was stiff.
Yeah,
that fucking bitch
I was worried about. I was worried about Seth's knee. I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Bro, don't injure your knee for this nigga, bro." But overall, the match was. DT was like, I gotta check out here, and like the first thing I said was like, "Match of the year." And he's like, the year just started, and I said what I said.
This nigga said match of the year. I think that's funny as well.
Match of
they're gonna run this back. They're gonna cross paths again. They're gonna run this back. And I know it's Mania season, but I hope it's soon. It doesn't have to be a trilogy. I mean, Seth should win though, so I guess
he needs to win one. But like, fuck.
Yeah.
We saw this nigga like Seth like rolls Punk in the ring, and he gets fucking curb stomped. Like, there's just so much action that happened in this match, bro, and I just need it to be done in front of grateful fucking fans. Which leads me to my question of like, do you think possibly pricing out your diehards is gonna like, are you not gonna get the reaction that you deserve? And granted, the building's packed out. You already made your money and whatnot. But as far as like moments like that, I expect that motherfucker to erupt, bro. Like, how do we balance out pricing out your fans and also allowing your, the people who built the business to where it's at, to be able to go to shows and whatnot?
I think that this is the case of they knew what they wanted this day to be. And so to do that, they had to put the heavy hitters on there. So to make it worth the fans being there, even if they didn't react the way maybe a Minnesota or an Arizona or something would have reacted, like to make it worth those 200 or not 200, but those 400, 500, $600,000 tickets, like y'all got to see the best, and in order for us to make this a moment, we have to have the best there. So I just feel like, I feel like in that situation, you damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, but like you ask a good question, and like because I've seen other people ask a similar question, and because like there was a point in the show, I think it was when The Rock was talking, and he was like, "This is the biggest gate," or whatever, and then like the crowd cheered, and I've seen a lot of jokes where people were like, "You guys are cheering for paying a lot of money," like oh no shit like that, but like you do raise a good question because it was to the point where like how DT and I we tried to get Mania tickets, and you know if this was Mania 2 years ago, we would have gotten these tickets with our current income. Not to brag or nothing, but I can't get shit this year because of how fucking pricey it is. Granted, I also could have saved better knowing that Mania was going to be in Vegas, but yada yada. Like, but shit is getting pricier. This last Smackdown was pricier than Smackdown last year. So, I think you do,
and it wasn't even no Roman.
Yeah, and I think you can. Yeah, I think you can run that. I think there is a risk. I think that's especially with what's going to happen in the next 4 years or so with, you know, the economy. Well, who knows? But it's not going to get better. I can say that. So, yeah, I think you do run the risk of having your casuals or your diehards. I would say your diehards not maybe be able to go to certain shows. And now that you're not doing live shows, or not that they're not doing live shows as consistently or barely at all, and so it's going to be hard for some people to see live wrestling, at least with the company that they may want to see more. But yeah, it might just be hard to see that live wrestling. I think to answer the question, I think there's a risk.
And maybe that's the direction. Maybe the direction is like we just want to get like, you know, the biggest higher profile people in here because they're going to post about it, they're going to bring more eyes to the product and whatnot, and more eyes mean more money, means more people watching, and it all works out for the business in the long run. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like I just don't want it to get to a point to where it's like, damn, like y'all not even reacting to like the shit that you should be reacting to, like the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like game changing moments. We've been waiting to see Seth and Punk lock up. This is supposed to be a Mania match, right? Like I was like, this has to be getting like the buzz that it should be. And maybe it could be different. Maybe because I'm not there in person, I can't attest for the live crowd, but I can just attest for what I've seen on TV. And it was like, damn, y'all should be way more into this bitch, bro. They are fucking going crazy.
And to piggyback off of that, because I saw some people say that this Portland show, the crowd wasn't good. And I'm like, I think that too. Crazy. I was there, like we were reacting to everything, and I remember like when we came in, when they were in September, I saw someone who was like, man, they didn't react. It felt like crickets when they came out. I was like, no, we were definitely screaming when Homie came out. So like, I think there are some audio things, because like Portland was loud as shit, but according to people on the internet, we sucked. Which is just wild.
It did look like that. Watching it did look like that. So I'm glad that y'all were there to kind of test for like, no, it was loud in there. But watching the product, watching Smackdown, I was like, damn, they are not like amped up enough. Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, DT lost his voice.
The finish of the match is interesting.
Voice.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did lose my voice. I actually didn't talk all day yesterday because I today.
Fair.
Like my girl was like, "How's your voice?" I was like, "I don't know." I was texting her. I was like, "I don't know. I ain't used to it. I can only hear my voice in my head." Yeah, I don't know how that shit is.
I saw people bring up that the finish to the match was similar to the finish that he did with Mox, the double GTS and whatnot. I don't know if that was like intentional. I don't know if that's a callback. I don't know if that's a homage or a diss. I don't know. It's just very interesting.
I think it was a callback.
It was spot on.
I think it was a callback.
Spot on.
That means there's one more.
Yeah, it means Roman got to take the same finish. Yep. He got to hit Roman with the same shit. So don't be surprised if Roman get 2 GTSs and he ends up on that nigga's shoulder. Like, it is what it is.
Kick out.
He said he gonna kick out. No, that I mean,
he is. Yeah, he definitely kick out. Yeah, he probably kick out that one.
Yeah.
Overall, show was good. I think it's a good like display of what WWE has to offer. I do think that is some slight missteps in not having Bianca on the show. I think Bianca on that show would have done wonders for like showing the world what she could do. But overall, like it was entertaining. I was sports entertained.
Yeah.
Like I don't have anything negative to truly say about the product. Any takeaways? Anything you guys want to get off?
I have something negative. Yeah, no, that mat was fucking ugly as shit.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it red?
The mat,
no, with the Fortnite and like the
13
all the ads on
advertisement,
it,
bro. Like I seen soccer jerseys look better than that shit.
For sure.
No,
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, ugly. I hope because obviously this show was obviously to bring in more casuals or people who don't watch or whatever. So I hope the next episode is a little formatted better. We only got, granted, I don't like watching shows with stopwatches, but we did only literally get 4 matches in a 3-hour and like 20-minute show.
Entrances were long.
And yeah, entrances were long and shit. So I'm hoping this next episode is similar to what we got with Smackdown, where we actually see multiple matches and multiple talent who we don't get to see actually get some time to like do stuff. I mean, and they did. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. They did scrap a match because we were supposed to get that women's IC, so we'll see that next week, and then we'll get Penta, and then it was just advertised that Gunther is going to make an appearance, which I think that's something that they dropped the ball on too, not having Gunther. I mean, he was in a video package.
Yeah, I was going to put that in there. I didn't want to bash.
Yeah,
not having Gunther on the show.
He should have physically been there.
He's the world champion.
You have Cody in the stands, but you don't have got Gunther. I don't know. That's just weird.
Yeah. Kind of great.
He could have chopped Hogan. He could have came out when they was born and chopped Hogan. He would have instantly been a face.
Oh yeah.
And that's what pisses me off too, though, is that we give Hogan that moment. Like that could have been a Gunther promo for 5 minutes or whatever. Like we don't need to see Terry, bro.
No.
Like there's plenty of other people you could have put out there. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get out of here, and then we're gonna do Dynamite and Smackdown. But we'll catch you guys right after the break. And we're back, people. We're gonna get into this AEW Dynamite real quick. Oh man, I love that shit. That shit's fucking tight.
It's not good.
It is, bro. It's so fucking tight. Especially the way he did it this week. This week was fucking dope, bro. What you got, DT?
I just gotta say, I had some notes for AEW, and I tweeted them or skeeted them somewhere. And it came down to their first match, the simulcast. I thought the production was fire.
Mm-hmm.
The matches were pretty good. And I really liked Ricochet's serial killer scissor holding whatever he doing, the gimmick he doing right now. I like it, but I don't trust AEW to see it through.
I don't trust Ricochet to see it through.
There's some comments I got to make towards like the end of this, or I'll make them when we get there. But before we get into the show, we did not talk about the first match or first show on Max and whatnot. Production looks great. I believe it was in 4K. It was visually stunning. I was like, damn, this looks like a higher production quality. Angle was different.
Yeah.
There was some people who didn't watch it live ended up giving the Hispanic version.
Some people,
Spanish
nigga, me, bro, no, because I work every other Wednesday. So that Wednesday I worked. I get home. I'm like, all right, it's 8:00. Let me just turn this shit on so I can take some notes. Actually do my job on this show. And this shit was in Spanish. And I was like, and it took me like fucking 3 minutes to realize it too, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because like you ever watch, I mean. I know you guys. I know everyone experiences, but like sometimes, like when you watch an anime dub or not a dub, but like you watch anime and sub or whatever, and like low key, you kind of understand what they say, and even if you're not like fully like really like registering it, so there was some stuff.
Yeah, so processing.
I felt like I was understanding, so I was like, wait, do I speak Spanish now? Like I was going through a whole fucking. I was going through a whole different like. I was so confused.
Nigga sat there like, I'm a genius. I understood all that. Like, but why do I understand it? This shit is in Spanish. So, what the fuck?
That's exactly what.
So wait, real quick, because I had the same experience when I went to go watch it. For whatever reason, I missed it. I think I was working or whatever. I went to go watch it. And I turned it on. And I'm going in the kitchen because I know they're going to open with a promo or something. First of all, I don't like them opening up with the Pointer Sisters.
I'm so excited.
Anyway, okay, what? All right, so we get past. I thought I clicked the wrong button because I turned it on and then I went to the kitchen to like go clean up, and then I hear, "I'm so excited." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I go back and look, and I'm like, "Okay, all right, whatever." Then it starts, and I see John Moxley's face. I turn around, walk back in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I start hearing Spanish, and I'm like, "Hold on, nigga, maybe I pressed the wrong button again." So I go back, hit the button, I exit all the way out, exit back out the app, go back in, go back to the banner, click the button, and I'm like looking for English, Spanish, I don't see any of it. So I click the button. I'm like, okay, maybe I have my Max on Spanish. No, he come back straight Spanish. I'm like,
and so like the whole show was in Spanish. It wasn't like they translated his promo.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you got, I can't speak for Hero, but you could hear Moxley talking in English, but it was really low, and then Spanish was over it at a higher volume.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like he was speaking straight Spanish, like coming from his lips. He was speaking, but at a lower volume in English, but the Spanish was over it.
Gotcha.
See,
and I was like,
and that's why I thought I was a genius, because I was hearing, I swear to God, I was like, I could speak Spanish now? Like, I looked at my weed pen, I was like, what the fuck is going on? How high am I?
That's funny. I saw that when y'all hit the group chat and said that y'all was in Spanish. I was like, okay, let me look this shit up. And it looks like when things get uploaded, it doesn't get uploaded right away.
Yeah.
And so you have to wait a day or a couple hours for it to fucking process and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's out of order. My thing with the Mac stuff is that like I have to look up Dynamite, and then I'll find like Dynamite episodes separately, and they're not inside the AEW Dynamite area. That's what irritates me.
Yeah, I found that out when I was trying to do a rewatch of the Batman animated series, the OG Batman, and I'm watching. I'm in the first season, and then all of a sudden, like I'm like episode 8 has Robin in it, and then episode 9 Robin doesn't exist, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I didn't know they. I thought that was just a Batman problem. So I didn't. Okay, interesting.
And it's not a crazy fucking problem, but because you just got to go find the fucking episode. But like for convenience and people's like attention span, you got to make sure that shit's in the right areas and whatnot.
But as far as this week goes, because I did watch this week, I was playing Rivals and I had it on my phone, so I was just like I was watching, and like even on the phone, like the simulcast, it is super crystal clear. Like that, the production on that is very good compared to what you see on TV. So it's really interesting to see. Granted, like now that they're on Max, and now the ratings don't really matter as much. But it's very curious. I'm very curious to see like how many people stay just watching it on TV. Just because they want those Nielsen rating numbers, or versus how many people are going to watch on Max. Because I plan to watch on Max every single time, just because of how clear, how clear it is, and how I can like dual watch it.
As do I.
So because I don't want to force my wife to watch it, so it's like, okay, I can watch this shit in the room, cool. And if it's on, if it's on a Wednesday that I'm off, I can have it on my phone or my laptop, and I'll play some games and I'll watch it, and perfect. Life is great.
My thing, the only pushback or negativity I would give AEW in this space is, and not because they did it on Netflix, but you're going to a new platform, or you're simulcasting on a new platform. You want to be able to bring people there, and then if people aren't there while they're watching, they shouldn't have any hiccups when they go back to watch.
Correct.
There's no reason as an AEW or a new AEW fan, or someone who's like, you're scrolling through the app and you see Dynamite and you see Swerve and Moxley and Mercedes Moné up there on the banner. You're like, oh, okay, who are these people? Who are these characters? And you click into the latest episode after, like you said, you got to search through and find it. There's no reason why it shouldn't immediately be available in the language in the country that it's in. Like if you're casting it in any countries in South America or any Latino countries and they're speaking Spanish, it should immediately be available in Spanish. If it's in
Yeah,
America, it should immediately be
the
available
rewatch it should be available in America like immediately. I
same,
do.
same.
Yeah,
real quick.
I agree with that.
So to piggyback,
What you got?
slightly piggyback off of that, because in week one, like if we're gonna compare, like not compare, but like it's for example, like with what Raw did with Netflix, like it was soon as you logged on to Netflix, it was right there. Like all you had to do was just press X one more time. On the very first week of the simulcast, like I had to like type in AE in my search history in my search bar to even like find it pop up. It they didn't have it. So this is not an AEW problem. This was a Max problem because they course corrected this week, but last week like I had to actually type in AEW in my search bar because it wasn't in like new shows or this other stuff. So like Max, what are you guys doing? Like you like promote them. But yeah, that's not AEW site. That's a Max site. But they course corrected.
I watched it live, the first show on Max, and it was there, front page. It was there. So like it showed AEW live, watch now. So maybe they could have just like once again course corrected to make it on the fucking like main page because that is like one of the biggest acquisitions right now. Yeah. And if that's one of your biggest products, definitely have that running. Also, to piggyback on things that I did see that they did on Netflix, once again, not to compare, not to be like one of those guys, but character like spotlights. Like there's character highlight spots that you can like, oh, this is the Romans, the Gunther. This is like for AEW, you have to do that because people don't know who these superstars are. It should be this is our page for Swerve. This is our page for Mercedes, our Mox, our Kenny Omega. Kenny for sure should have like a character like spotlight like section. And I think a lot of that will come when they start uploading a lot of their content to Max. Not all their content's up there, similar to like WWE. Not all the WWE shit's there yet. But hopefully when they do add all the backlog and everything, we can create like, certain categories for these superstars. So that way people can build familiarity with like the talent and whatnot. Yeah. But overall, visual production, great. You're going to continue to kill it there. There's just little stuff that hopefully we get in the long run, But to talk about this week, it kicks off with Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews. Phenomenal match. They had a great fucking match. It's solo, and I believe Malachi's not there because we talked about Malachi, but Brody's not there because Brody was in Japan, and he had a fucking great fucking match in Japan too. I believe it was against David Finlay. So he wasn't there. Match is great. I think Buddy's showing out. I think he showed out at, I believe it was Full Gear last time I seen Buddy wrestle, and he was doing solid work out there. Post-match, those where things get interesting. Ospreay gets the win. He gets on the mics, and he gives Buddy the rub. He's like, hey, if you ever need somebody to be in your corner, need somebody to help you, I'm there. I can be your guy to help you, XYZ, XYZ. He says that he wrestled him, he's wrestled Brody, and neither of them need to be following a leader. And he thinks that they can win singles gold. If they want to do that, they can do tag gold. And if he ever needs a man in his corner, he's his guy. I understand what was being done here. Yeah, hated it. I understand what was being done here, but not from him. Not from him.
Yeah, because it comes off like or DT, go for it.
No, I just had a quick question for both of y'all. Why not just have him win then? It's the start of the year. Like, is it going to take any momentum away from Will Ospreay to lose this match or put him over?
Kinda, because Will Ospreay has been losing. He just came off of 2 wins though. I think he beat.
Yeah,
he technically shouldn't be.
But he's already lost more matches.
2 wins against
he beat Kyle Fletcher and then he lost to Okada, and then I don't know what else happened.
Yeah, he lost to Okada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I've seen. I got to go watch those matches too because they said those were great matches. But yeah, last I seen that he beat Fletcher, he lost to Okada, so you can't have another loss coming out of the pay-per-view. So it makes sense. Yeah, okay. But once again, this is not a rub that like I want it to happen at the end of the match.
No, because one, it comes off like you're trying to big bro me. Like I was in this company before you were. Like you don't big bro me because it comes off very like, man, if you work as hard as I work, you'll be a champion one day. It seems
we can do this one more time.
Yeah, it's the kind of speech that like, or it's the kind of thing like Undertaker gave to Cena when Cena first had his ruthless aggression moment or some shit like that. Like, it comes off very big bro-ish, and it's like it kind of comes out of nowhere also, where it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, and it made me frustrated for like several reasons, because, well, I'm already stating them, but another one is like, Osprey, what is your goals and ambitions, my guy? Which we've talked about this multiple times, but you have this bald dictator taking over the company. When you were in your MJF feud, you were so
We'll get into that.
super pro AEW,
We'll get into
pro
that.
AEW. Ever since then, you just like forget what's going on in the company. Like, you're just so focused on Fletcher, I guess, and all this other random shit. So that was irritating. But this, plus what happens on Collision, because Brody comes.
It's supposed to happen at the end of the show.
Yeah,
like,
but with the
there's a lot.
Yeah, with the House of Black stuff though, like, because on Collision, Edge approached Brody and Julia, and it's very similar to what Osprey said, where it's like, you guys, I see a good future for you guys. You guys can do this. It makes it seem like for sure Malachi's gone, but also I feel like it's and maybe this might be tinfoil hat, but I feel like this is a very subliminal way to make Malachi look bad, and I think it's
I don't think so.
I think it's a low key, because like now, like, because it's making them, in my opinion, it's making them feel like he was holding them back. Like, why are these three characters getting all this? Man, you guys are really good. Like, if you just forget your leader, like, it's like, it makes it seem like Malachi was the one holding them back when they're a group. And now, like, now that he's quote unquote leaving, now they're getting a push. Now they're getting extra camera,
getting the rub, and now everybody cares about your talent and whatnot.
Yeah, it just looks funny in the light to me.
I could see that. I don't think it's intentionally to be that way, but I could see how if you look deeper into it, you can probably come up with that conclusion. And the only reason why I say that is because people have seen Brody and Buddy wrestle, and like they've been doing amazing. Even when they were in the trios with Malachi and whatnot.
Buddy has a match at WrestleMania. Don't big bro me, my nigga. I'm married to Rhea Ripley. Like, bro, I'm sorry. I would have cussed. I would have shot. I'm sorry. I would have.
See, and like with this particular moment, it would have made sense if, in order to big bro me, you got to be undefeated, or like you haven't lost or something. It'd be different if Osprey was like the guy that was untouchable, and I was really that close to beating you. But we've already done lost a couple talent. Like, there's no, you're not the guy to tell me this. Anybody can tell me this. It's the Kennies. It's like those guys are like the only people who can be like, hey man, like maybe next time you'll get me. Yeah, very interested in like how that operated and whatnot. Now from here we get the private party section, where they come out and like they are celebrating with their championships, and they got like the rope and everything, and that gets quickly interrupted by the Hurt Syndicate and Bobby Lashley, where they kind of like bombard their little private party area or party section, and Bobby's like, hey, next time we're gonna go after the tag belts, in a very nonchalant. I didn't even know Bobby was focusing on tag belts right now. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, which makes me. It's just
you delivered that better than he did.
Wow. This is not a question for you two specifically, but I think I'm wondering why it's okay, like, because this whole time, or like right before Bobby showed up, when he was still in the E, he was like, oh, he's not doing nothing, they're holding him back, yada yada. He should be in the main event picture, he should be main event, he should be fighting Roman, and on this show he's going after the tag belts. So where's the same energy is all I want to ask, but that's not directly towards you two guys.
I don't know, and I honestly believe when we get to like the fucking Death Rider section, I'll dive into this a little bit more. But I think like a retcon needs to happen, and I wouldn't even judge you for this retcon. I think that we definitely have to like pivot in some way, some form. In particular about the Hurt Syndicate, I think this is probably the strongest thing that they have in AEW. At least one of the strongest things that they have in AEW.
I think so.
Without a doubt.
Easily.
It is the strongest.
So if that's the case, then we should definitely be allotting more effort and energy into the storylines or whatever we have going on here. We can find somebody else to fight Private Party, unless the story is we're going to take the belts from Private Party and then we're going to continue to fucking hurt people, which is great. But at the same time, I don't think that should have been the focus. Once again, coming off of like 2 weeks no AEW, I don't know where Swerve's at. I don't know how he fits into this, because that was the last time that we seen them
Swerve is
together.
He's going to be for Ricochet.
And I think, actually, my bad, I did see that Fight for the Fallen. That's when Ricochet came out looking like Dahmer and was like fucking stabbing with the scissors and shit. So I did see that. I don't know. I think there's definitely some retconning that needs to happen. Hurt Syndicate is going to make the best out of everything. We just got to make sure we don't squander this. This is a nice fucking thing you got going on right here. Let's make sure this is done properly.
Real quick, if I may, they are presented extremely strong, which to me is a very good thing. I don't know. Do they cross paths, or will they cross paths with the Death Riders?
We will see.
I don't think they will right now. I hope so.
It's one of those. It's one of those things because like it would be too soon to beat Bobby. Right? So
yeah, there's definitely a list of people before Bobby for sure.
And I think they want to keep Mox. I don't know. Sorry if I pre-answered your question or stumbled or blah blah. If you have any more to say, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's just like my thing is like Shelton when he debuted, extremely strong. He tore through the people. He tore through Bobby. Same thing. Like cool. If they're gonna take the belts from Private Party, if they're gonna elevate the belts, make it harder to obtain, make the tag championships mean something more by beating them. I think that's dope. But I just don't want to see them, like you said, get squandered. I don't want to see them fizzle out and become like caricatures of what they're currently delivering. Like it was when you heard the rumors of them getting together and bringing it back, and then you seen MVP, or you seen Shelton, you seen MVP, and then you knew Bobby was coming. Like this was supposed to be a big thing. It should remain that way. I don't think they should meet much opposition, because then what the fuck is the point?
And they haven't met any like severe opposition. Actually, any at all. They've been fucking smashing through everybody. It's just more so like the direction of who you're smashing through. That's what's crazy. But make sure like the people that you're battling or you're attacking are like high profile people that we can keep knocking them off and whatnot. But it's also the tag scene. The tag is very big in AEW. They do have titles. Like they are chasing the gold. Their motivational MVP is like, hey, it's not worth the money. MVP's coming after gold no matter who has it. And he has said that before. So it does make a little sense there. Just make sure we keep it focused. But this leads into Bobby versus Mark Briscoe. He bodies him, barrels through him. We get him the fuck up out of there.
It was a fine match. Maybe 5 minutes longer than it should have been. But it was a fine match.
It was decent.
He should have got
post match. You see Hurt Syndicate. You got a question?
No, I said he should have got squashed. I don't think Redneck Kung Fu should have been able to
got a hand on Bobby.
I think
which
Bobby
is why he said 5 minutes longer.
Yeah, Bobby should have speared him twice, put him in a hurt lock, toss that nigga out the ring, and walk back. That would have been how I would have booked it. Like we're not about to do no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Post match after he wins, they end up attacking Briscoe. Then Private Party comes out, makes a save. This sets up a trios match next week, which looks like it's going to be the in-ring appearance of MVP. Because it's a trios and they don't have a third member, so it would have to be him. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean he's on the graphic, so we'll see. I mean, and since it's a tag, he doesn't have to work that much. He can he can get the hits off. Pull out your greatest hits and then tag back in. But we'll see. Or maybe we finally get the new member.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Give me the new member without actually building that up would piss me off. But it is what it is. Anything can happen at this point.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They've been giving cards
the next
out to
match was the
for
Casino
months.
Gauntlet match
That's
for the
the
number one
story.
contendership against Mox. He has. That's what I'm saying. They have. But Ricochet is on Dahmer, and they fucking body fucking Caster. So we need to know what the fuck is going on here. I got some shit I got to get off. Just not at this segment. We'll get there.
Gotcha.
Casino Gauntlet match happens. Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win here. This winner of this gets the number one contenders match against Mox next week at Maximum Carnage. I'm not mad with who won this. I think Powerhouse Hobbs looks fucking great. He has been bodying people. Kind of funny that you go back to back with black men powering the fuck through the fucking roster. But Powerhouse Hobbs looks great. This is a callback to him and Mox because Mox brought him in and Mox beat him before, so we'll see another callback there. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna win. I know he's not gonna win. He's by himself. It's a group kind of situation, so he's probably gonna get jumped at the end of this. I just want to know where the direction will go. But nonetheless, I'm entertained, or not entertained. I will be entertained seeing the match next week. Inside this match, though, we saw Jeff Jarrett come out. He gets fucking bodied by.
It's a home.
What?
It's gonna be in Cincinnati, so that's the home show for Mox, or home crowd
for Mox. Yep. Inside the Casino Gauntlet, we saw Jeff Jarrett gets put out by
Yuta. I think it was Yuta.
Yeah, Yuta.
Look, bro,
and he comes out after the match.
Why does he?
What?
Never mind. I'm gonna go into tangent. But Yuta looks like he works at Pike Place Market. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you have no.
He looks like Pike's Place,
bro. He looks like a. He should be at New Seasons putting my fucking chicken in the bag, bro.
That's disrespectful. That is so fucking disrespectful. It's fucking crazy. Everybody in Death Riders, I got something for. Just okay. We'll get there. All right. Jeff Jarrett comes out, cuts his promo, about talking up his achievements and whatnot. Thinks that he wants to whether he's going to retire, whether he's not going to retire. This gets interrupted by MJF because MJF comes out with a proposal like, "Hey man, I see you want to go for the AEW title. I can help you get there and whatnot. But if you get it, I just want to be first in line." Kind of selling him on being the devil's advocate kind of role. But Jeff Jarrett doesn't take it, of course. Mm-hmm. Sends Max, not spiraling, but he calls Max a selfish prick, and you don't care about anything that's going on right now. You just care about yourself.
And a one-hit wonder, which he wasn't lying about that.
Yeah, one-hit wonder. Yeah. And I'm okay with this angle of Max being the legend killer. Because Jeff came out and said he wants to win the AEW championship, but, not everybody, you can want it, but you're not going to get here. There's no way Jeff Jarrett should get past MJF at all. And I'm okay with MJF, fucking taking out legends. Just go ahead and just knock them off one by one to get back to where you want to get back to. Because right now the AEW, scene, AEW championship scene is very convoluted. Once again, we'll talk about that when we get there, but
the only part I don't like is that the week prior after World's End, MJF is I'm trying to go after the title, and then next week, you know what? Let me go fuck with this old man real quick. You literally just last week you literally just cut a pretty good promo because I think he even commented on the promo where he's he was bloody. He was I'm going after the title, yada yada, and then next week it's a whole different story. Now he's going to be in a feud with Jeff Jarrett. I just don't. That's the only part I don't care for because it's you literally just retcon yourself a week later. But other than that, I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be fine.
And I get everybody's goals and ambition is to be AEW championship. They don't tell you when they want to be champion, but it's just hey, who the fuck are we focusing on? Who is supposed to be the number one contender? Who's supposed to be the next in line? And I don't know if that's done on purpose to where they're just trying to misguide you by throwing you everybody who's trying to be AEW champion. But that kind of, for continuity's sake, it just kind of hurts the product a little bit for me. Once again, like I said, coming back off for 2 weeks, I don't know shit. So, okay, AEW announced a 12-man tag match for Maximum Carnage edition. So, okay, so we have a 12-man next week or next Saturday for Collision. Interesting. But what is that for? My bad, guys. DT popped up something on the X, and I'm just reading it. But I gotta watch the show.
Yeah, it's just storylines.
Just 12-man
fusing together. You got the Learning Tree with the Death Riders teaming together versus FTR, Outrunners, Hobbs, and Cope.
First response.
Hey, that's funny. That's fucking funny. But yeah, and so I don't have any issue with everybody going for the AEW title. Like I said, it does hurt continuity sake because who the fuck are we following, especially in wrestling where you need to follow the story as much as you can. I know they don't believe in doing it traditionally, but even so, something would be better. Or something's better than nothing. From here, we get the Cope promo. where he talks about Mox and Mox's destruction, how he escapes it. He recaps the trail destruction that Mox did. He recaps Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, FTR, the whole nine. This is where I have a slight issue. Actually, a big issue is that why is Adam Copeland the one going after Mox? A. B. The story up until this point was, or what I thought was going to be after Wrestle Dream, was Mox versus, Darby. Darby's supposed to be the one built up to be the next fucking champion and whatnot. We just find out that Darby's taking his vacation to his mountain trip. And this is where I recon. I got a retcon. I got to change it up. I have to change the plot, because if you want to go on the mountain, by all means, go do that. But if that comes at the cost of carrying this belt to where, if this comes at the cost of you messing up storyline aspects or stories in general, I have to move somewhere else. I have to pivot. Kenny just came back. I have no problem putting the belt on Kenny. It would make the most sense. He can carry the fucking shit, right? If I need to pivot to fucking Hangman, I could fucking do that. Hangman just threw out a crazy fucking promo about Christopher Daniels this week. There's other talent that we could fucking put this energy into if that's what it's going to be. If that's what the plan was. And I don't know if that's the plan, but that's how I thought it was Darby going to be the champ.
I'm going to contradict myself. And this is going to illuminate Punk's point. If what you're saying is true and Darby was supposed to be the next one up to be the champion, which means he was going to go against Mox, you're not fucking climbing a mountain in the middle of a story. Sorry, buddy.
No.
You're going to stay here. You're going to fight Mox, take this championship, and do what we talked about. When you lose it or you drop the belt later on, then you can go climb your mountain.
Right.
The mountain's not moving anywhere. If we already put all this energy into this story or whatever is going on, no, sorry, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to climb a mountain. No, you're not. You're going to stay fucking here, work your contract, put this belt on, and wrestle. And then when you drop the belt, then you can go climb your mountain and take time off. Why would you take time off in the middle of a...
He had scheduled the time off before and had got injured, and that's why he didn't do it. Because we had talked about this at least
last year,
6-7 months ago. Yeah, we've talked about this before. I just think that the timing of it is just different now. It's like, hey, if you're actually going to be the next guy, it's like, hey, I could put this off. Y'all invested in me right now. I can put this off, especially when you're trying to reward quote unquote loyalty. And I don't know if that's the case. That's just me fucking just throwing that shit out there. But yeah, we gotta move. We gotta move differently. There's a lot of talent out there who doesn't have the belt who could put on great fucking matches. Jay White can do it.
What
like
hero
Hangman.
Send him to the Shadow Realm.
If that's the case, that has to be the case. I'm sorry, yo. We just got to move. And we'll see if that happens. If not, we're gonna see fucking Mox carry this bitch into July. It's just slightly unfortunate because I would rather see somebody else get this opportunity.
Yes, that's just wild to me. And no two ways about it.
Nah, it's especially because, like I said, at Wrestle Dream, the plot was right there. It was written. It was like the next 4 guys are gonna be the guys going up, and right now, none of them are involved in anything major. They're all involved in storylines, but nothing is like a pillar to the AEW World Championship scene. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my gripe. I'm sorry if this comes off anti AEW. I promise you, I'm not.
No, it's just not smart. It's not smart on the talent. It's not smart by TK. Has he been written off? Is he injured?
I have to go back and check.
If I'm not mistaken, Moxley threw him down a large set of stairs.
And that was supposed to do it. But we just seen this nigga dive off a ladder through glass over chairs, and that was supposed to injure him. I'm supposed to believe that.
And hit by a bus.
But a flight of stairs.
There's a lot.
A flight of stairs did it.
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta tune back in. I ain't got nothing right now, but I'll tune back in and try to piece the details as much as I can. We did get a really good triple threat between Statlander, Tony Storm, and Willow. I thought that was really good. I thought it was a great fucking match. It's funny because when I left, Tony had just came back, and I didn't know what Tony's gimmick was. When I came back and saw that Tony's gimmick is now her forgetting everything, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
I think it's dope.
I hate it.
I don't have an opinion on it yet. I will say that, like, to come back and be like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened these past 3 years, like, is a choice. But it's Toni Storm. I trust Toni Storm's process. If there's anybody I do trust the creative work, it's Toni. She's shown that she can do it.
But do we trust RJ City and TK to help with that?
For sure. I trust RJ because he did the whole Toni Storm gimmick. Like, it worked out. That story was great.
Yes, but what has Mariah been doing? Okay, my problem with the Toni thing is when we last saw her, she was still black and white. Because she did a match, she did a match in Japan. She did stuff with Mina before Mina and Mariah ever feuded. Then we saw her
went to Mexico.
Yeah, then we saw her with saying she was going to retire. Still as timeless Toni. I'm going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a couple weeks, she has amnesia. We have no idea why. There's no foreshadow for it. All of a sudden, she just forgets everything. Everything. Like, oh, this is my first time being in New York. Like, you just forgot. Like 10 years. How? Why? Great. Like, sure, it's funny, I guess. Like, it's making people pop. Like, people, DT himself, like, he's enjoying it. But I don't understand it. You came back, you left for only 2 weeks, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Because that's how, and it's only been like 2 weeks. Why does she have amnesia? Maybe. Did get hit by a bus? Was she with Darby? Like, give us a story to why this character is back to her 2021 self. What the fuck happened?
Maybe the timeless Toni is like an alter ego, and when she's that version, or when she was that version, she can't remember anything pre or post, or she can't remember anything post that.
That's a fine story.
So she could be working two characters the same way like Mankind.
That's I was thinking that too.
Same way Ezekiel was Elias. Like, it could be, she could be working that.
No, but Ezekiel was legitimately a different person. He was no, obviously it was really Elias, but like the way it played out, he was legitimately a different human being in the story. Whole different nigga.
Maybe during Timeless Toni, she doesn't remember what happened. She was who she was before Timeless Toni came around.
But why? They have not explained anything. Like what? Like if they did what you did,
I do understand.
They have not. Like they can go your route. Show us that. Give us a fucking vignette of her leaving the hospital or something. Like
and
just anything
that can still be coming. It's a high possibility that still can be coming. We didn't get like the Mariah May champagne celebration for like fucking 8 weeks after she won the belt, 12 weeks. So it's still a high possibility we can get that. And I think they're just trying to bird feed you. Like, why is this happening? It's just, we need that more sooner than later. But nevertheless, I did enjoy the match. The match was for the first spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet match that happens this Wednesday. The winner of this will get a shot at the Women's World title and whatnot. I don't think that we'll miss Toni Storm at the February Australia show, so she'll definitely be there. No. So I would assume,
I think it's all leading to her getting that title back in Australia.
Right, and that was my next point, was that like we should be getting some like threads here pretty soon. Like February is in fucking like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so like we should definitely be seeing some progression there for sure.
And also, why is everyone playing along with it?
Why is everybody acting just letting her be crazy?
Just like, yeah, this is your first women's match here. Like, why is everyone playing along? Like, I feel like I'm Kevin Owens right now. What the fuck is going on? Why is everyone just accepting this shit? No one's worried. No one called a brain doctor. Nobody. We're just all just like, all right, yeah, you haven't. Yeah, it's your first time here. I just don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense.
Statlander ends up getting the win in this match, which sets her up with the number one spot. Toni does an interview backstage where she's like, she just doesn't have what it takes. I think that's the interview that Hero's referring to, is that she's talking about like she doesn't have what it takes. It takes a lot more to be the winner of the Casino Gauntlet match and whatnot. So she's still playing on this like I'm a rookie aspect, which, like I said, we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully, when she crosses paths with Mariah, it's a little bit more eye-opening. Maybe there's some trauma or triggers that happens there. especially because Mariah like stole her moveset and everything too. So we should definitely get something. From here, the man is back. Kenny Omega makes his return on AEW Dynamite. Cuts a solid promo.
Becky.
Oh, my bad. My bad. No, not the man, Becky Lynch. The man, Kenny Omega. He cuts a really good promo, talks about like, the recovery or the road to recovery from diverticulitis. He talks about, the hurdles of, pushing himself too hard and him going to the hospital 4 more times and whatnot, whether or not he wants to do it. And then he says that, he found his purpose, which is wrestling, and wants to continue to wrestle and show up every single week. Wants to wrestle in front of these fans every single week. And going off of like, the Japan match, Kenny can definitely do that. That man he's top fucking shape. The dude's fucking solid. This promo gets.
Sorry, I was gonna say, did you watch the promo that I sent? Post
from
the press conference post New Japan Wrestling.
Yeah, where you was talking about how he sounds like Drew.
Yeah.
It's a good promo. Like,
I thought that shit was fire.
This shit's fucking dope. And which leads into like kind of how I feel where the direction they should be going with Kenny. He should not be wrestling every week. He should be not intended, but like final boss, not Rock intended, but like, you can't touch me. Like, I think you look at him like, I don't know if anybody's seen like JJK or Jujutsu Kaisen, but like the character like Sukuna, like he's just big bad. People should be afraid to fuck with Kenny because you can't get in the ring with him. And I think that statement should be made. And it's still a little early to kind of say how they're building Kenny because his first match is not happening until next week in AEW. But he should 1000% be built like Big Ball or Big Boss, similar to how I think he talked about how like Roman was built. Like he was like, however Roman was built, I want to be built just like that. And I think that should be the way that they handle him. The thing with that is that you have to create another faction because if he's not wrestling every week, he's going to need a faction, and add another faction to AEW seems like a fucking chore because there's always factions. There's factions everywhere. But 1000%, he should be built like the big bad. He should not be wrestling every week. This particular promo ends with Don Callis coming out, and the history there is that Don Callis turned on him to go work with Will Ospreay. The Callis family comes out. Kenny ends up jumping them. He gets overwhelmed by the 3v1, and Will Ospreay comes out to like help him out. The story here that most people don't know, or if you are a casual viewer, is that Ospreay and Kenny have battled before twice. Both of them happened in 2023. The first time Kenny fought him, he fucking bodied him. The second time they fought at Forbidden Door, Ospreay got the win. So they're 1-1 right now. They're probably eventually going to end up scrapping again in AEW, but the common denominator that they have is Don Callis. They're both Don Callis guys, which kind of makes sense why Ospreay came out to help him, but doesn't make sense why Ospreay talked to Buddy.
I can tell you what doesn't make sense.
Real quick.
Oh, I was no, go for it because I was doing stuff.
Don Callis is just a manager. You said they'd have to build a faction. You can totally harpoon this idea. You said that there needs to be a faction. What if Kenny and Will wrestle? If Kenny wins, he essentially inherits the services or takes in the services of Will Ospreay, and that begins like the building of that next faction.
What's funny is that I think that they're going to team up. I think that's going to happen. Just based off of Wednesday, how they ended the show, like they didn't immediately scrap, but they're kind of like hesitant of each other. At some point, they will team up. I don't know if they will build a faction off of that. Nor do I think you book yourself in a corner to where you just have Ospreay as like under Kenny. I don't think they'll potentially do that, or it doesn't make any sense in that aspect, especially when Kenny has like the elite with the Young Bucks and shit like that.
And he has Golden Lover Boy. Can't remember his name.
There's a bunch of teams that Kenny has been a part of.
Yeah. So the thing that doesn't make any sense with this, granted, I really like this promo. I like the segment for the most part, except for the end. It was a really good promo. it would have made a whole lot more sense if we didn't know that he wrestled in Japan and it wasn't like advertised everywhere, because it was a really babyface promo. Do I still got it? Type of thing. The doctor said I couldn't do it. We just saw you kill it in a 30-minute match.
And was a heel in the promo in Japan.
Yeah. So it's like, obviously you still got it. So, and again, like most of AEW's audience, they're tapped in. They're known as smart fans. So we all know that you got it. We all know that you're here. Like, if he would have did this shit before the Japan match, I think it would have hit a lot better. But it was still it was still good promo. But my thing is, and them teasing the Will match, that's fine, whatever. They teased the Okada match the other week when he handed Okada the title. Fine, sure, that's great. Why are you running back this Don Callis shit? That's a problem that AEW has. They like to run shit back that doesn't need to be ran back. Kenny and Don Callis were feuding for like 4 months or longer, because that's when Konosuke turned on them and all. Like, we've done this for a long ass time. Why are you running it back? It's very similar to the Adam Cole MJF shit. We were done. We were free. You had no reason to do it. It's like when you break up with someone and you're almost over it, and you're like, oh man, she really needs that hair tie though. If I don't give her this hair tie, like, who knows what her life is going to be? Like, just give it up. Give up let it go. But you're going to run this shit back for no reason. And that's not like, the feud was done. The feud was done. They didn't have to.
It was, and I think, like, at first I was like, man, maybe they want to run, Konosuke Kenny, but they already did that last year, or 2023 they've done that. And the only thing that makes more sense here is running Kenny fucking Fletcher, because, like, that's the only new person who is who he is right now. But I don't know if that's
and then Kenny and Fletcher that's
not something I would do immediately.
Yeah, and he just lost Ospreay, so
right?
Shit. And then Konosuke, he has the TNT title, sure, but like you said, again, we already seen that match. So I mean, we're gonna get like you said, we're gonna get a tag. So we'll probably get Fletcher, Konosuke versus Kenny, and yada yada.
And unless they're also not retconning, but just we ain't seen Bucks. Bucks were in Japan too. And they won tag gold in Japan. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is like, he gets jumped by the Callis family, and the Bucks come to help him, and you redo the Elite kind of thing. But I don't know if that's even the move that I would do. You weren't at the mic, but I said that, like, I would treat him like super boss. Like, Kenny should be
Roman.
He should be untouchable. Like, he should be the guy who chooses his victims, who pops out and, like, smashes everybody. I told him the comparison I had was Sukuna and Jujutsu Kaisen, to where, like, everybody should be afraid of fighting you because you are that good. It shouldn't be nobody walking up on you. It shouldn't be, like, no easy fucking, like, picking. You're not easy pickings. Granted, you got to get there. You got to build some kind of, like, story element to get there, and hopefully they do, because I think you got to treat Kenny's runs carefully.
Yeah, no, he should be on the Roman schedule. Personally,
yeah.
I mean, the Roman schedule, but at least, like, show up a little more, and that's no change.
He has to be active a little bit.
He needs to be on TV.
He has to be a little active.
They need the star power. But
exactly.
He shouldn't wrestle every week, especially if he's going to be wrestling scrubs.
No.
Like, I don't need to see him versus. No, and this is no shade, but I don't need to see him versus, like, Action Andrade or any random throw a random name. We don't need to see it. Every match should be for storyline purposes, in my opinion.
Like I told him, like, if he's on that schedule, he has to build a faction to be those guys have to wrestle those guys. And to create another faction for Kenny is, like, a lot, because AEW is full of factions and Kenny has, like, 3 or 4 factions already.
Yes.
It's just going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm happy to see Kenny back on TV. He's going to definitely help out the ratings and whatnot. But let's jump into SmackDown, and we can just wrap this joint up real quick. Because y'all niggas was there, I got the notes.
Cool.
So I can definitely go through what I got here and over how I felt.
Okay.
But we can definitely look and see how you guys felt as well. Show kicks off with Paul Heyman. He's in the ring, right? He's sitting there, and he says he has something to tell us and the world, and more particular, Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion. He comes down. He calls Cody out. Cody comes down, and he tells him that Roman Reigns will be entering the Rumble to come back and get his title now that he has the Ula Fala back. So, this is not a prediction. This is a fact. Do we Cody Roman 3?
Too soon.
Possibility. We want it too soon.
Too soon.
We want to hold out a little bit.
I think Roman being in the Rumble is dope. I think it can give off some cool moments.
For sure.
When I was talking to DT at the show, I was like, man, they have the chance to, very similar to like when Brock was in the Rumble a couple years ago, and like he had that moment with him and Keith Lee, and he had that moment with
Keith Lee. Yeah,
we can have there can be some cool moments to where he can have some cool like face offs with some individual people. We can have another cool moment where he gets kind of jumped by everyone he's fucked over. Like there's a lot of cool moments that you can have with him in the Rumble, and it makes things interesting. So I'm all for that part. Not for the part where I feel like this proves Seth's statement and that Roman hasn't changed, because you left Heyman and Jimmy outnumbered again. All because you want your power.
True.
All because you want your power back. Again, it's not a good look, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna win. But I do like the idea of having Roman in the Rumble. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, definitely a big pop for Roman in the Rumble. Who eliminates Roman?
Whoever it is, they'll be in a back and forth for a while.
Yeah, so whoever gets this elimination is going to start the feud, and it's probably going to be the Mania fucking match. Who does it? Is it Punk? Is it Cena? Is it Randy? Is it who's going to do it?
I'm gonna say Punk for now, assuming he's not in the program. But yeah, well, no, because he declared for the Rumble, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna say Punk for now, but we'll see. Or The Rock.
I was agreeing right now.
So what?
I was agreeing with Hero when it comes to Punk eliminating him, but then when you said Randy, I was thinking of a way to get Randy to Cody, to get Randy to Cena. So, and you could do it that way. To thread that line. Like I don't. To answer your original question, which I believe was, do we want to see Cody and Roman 3, or if Roman's getting the belt again? I don't think Roman's getting the belt again. I don't think we get Cody and Roman 3 at this point. Because we still need KO and Cody. We still need Randy to come back. We still have Cena. We still have Punk. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna change the pick. The Rock eliminates him, and that's how we get the Rock and Roman match that everybody wants. There you go. Then everyone can be happy.
Interesting. I don't think it's impossible, but
he doesn't have to be in the match either. He could just pull the nigga out.
My thing is like Solo's gonna get his lick back. And I don't know how Solo's going to get his lick back, but he's going to get his revenge in some way or form.
Well, I mean, if he's sticking to the character, he's next week he's supposed to acknowledge.
He has to acknowledge him.
Like that was the rule. He's supposed to acknowledge. So, I mean, if anything, we're going to probably see Fatu and Tama turn on him.
Fatu, yep. Which could lead to Fatu and Roman, which would be fire.
Yeah, that could work too. Yeah, and it might be Jacob who eliminates him. And you do Reigns and Fatu. Damn. Okay. All right. I like that. Before Cody can get a word out here, he gets interrupted by KO in the crowd. And KO is like, you shook hands with Rock, and now he shakes hands with Paul Heyman. And 30 seconds after that, he says that Roman wants his title back. And then Kevin says, to Cody that he did this to himself because he should have let the bloodline rip Roman to shreds. Like.
So real quick, one of the things I love about going to the actual shows, like there's positives and negatives. The negative is you can't hear the commentary, so you're kind of left to have been following the story from the week previous and then kind of try to piece it together. Because the commentary does a great job at pushing the storylines for you. The good thing is, you get to see the amount of hard work and production that the WWE team is doing, and when they're doing it, and the cues and everything else. And So where we were sitting, we were actually sitting in the row behind where one of the cameras were set up. And so there's a bunch of people moving around, like beginning of the show, before, like right after the speed match. There was a bunch of people moving around. You see the camera guys going up and down the stairs. Like, so you could tell they're checking to see if they're getting the right angle. They're checking to see if the camera's working, all of those things. And so the row directly in front of us to the left is, they asked like 5 people to get up. I don't know where those people went or where they set those people at, but they asked 5 people to get up. They took those seats for production and they placed a tripod camera there. And then you see another guy shoot up the stairs to like our right with the camera. And then as the interaction between Heyman and Rhodes is going on, then like we're sitting there, everybody is glued, like literally glued to what's happening in the ring. Then you hear KO's voice. So we immediately start looking at the entrance, and then you start hearing rumbling, and then we all turn around when we realize he's behind us.
That's cool. That's hella cool.
So it was super dope to see the amount of work that goes into actually making that 5-10 minutes happen, for it to show up and look dope on TV. It was super dope. So I just wanted to throw.
And another thing, in the very start of the show, like when you watch the episode, you see Wade and Joe talking. You can see all 4 of us, me, DT, and our girls. We're all on the camera. Like you can, so like we're heavily on the camera, on TV, and I'm waving and shit. So yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah, there's an idiot that keeps raising the Roman belt. That was me.
Look for the red belt, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much happens between Cody and KO. They just end up brawling immediately. We see that Paul Heyman gets trapped by Fatu and Tama. He's outnumbered. Jimmy comes out, and then Jimmy ends up getting hip attacked and fucked up.
Yeah, but Cody,
pretty
but
smoothly.
Cody comes
swiftly.
back and it put him, to help.
It sets up the tag team that later happens. After this match, though, we see a very funny clip where, like, Jacob back there cutting his shit, getting his shit off and whatnot, letting people know who he is. And yeah, think about your life right now. It's crazy. And then we see LA Knight's like, he's being too loud. He's making too much noise and just kicks him out the door.
He's not using his
and at that point, I realized.
So I took his ass outside.
Yeah, makes his inside voice while I take him outside. Yeah. And from there, I was like, yep, they about to fuck you up in your match tonight. It's coming. You done kicked them out, and then From here though, I realized like, oh, this is the first like 3-hour SmackDown. Like, this is like, it was a chore. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a chore for me. I don't know how it was live, but watching this shit was a chore.
Watching it back on television was tough. I was like, God damn, this is long. But in the moment when you're there, that shit was great. It was
felt great. I'm not gonna lie to you. A couple of these matches, I'm like, why? Why are they here? And this wasn't one of them. Chelsea versus Michin was a solid match to me. I loved it. I love Chelsea coming out, defending her belt against Michin. I knew it was too early for her to lose the belt, but you got to get off the illusion of like, it's a potential. It can happen. It potentially could happen. She ends up winning with a nice little crossbody like roll up. That happens. I do like the attire that Piper was wearing. It looks like the whole like first lady Secret Service, kind of like element to it. She's out there shining like a motherfucker. But yeah, I think giving Chelsea the belt was the correct move. It's gonna work out really, really fucking well. Like we said before, Michin will have her time. It's gonna happen.
It was just way too many people. Even when Chelsea was doing like heelish stuff, it did not matter in the crowd. It didn't matter. People were cheering. There was all kind of like pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green and all kind of signs everywhere. It was. I was like, that's dope. So yeah.
These next couple matches, I don't know if you have anything particular you want to talk about them.
I just like that Pretty Deadly got TV time, and that, I mean, granted, 3 hours is a lot, but it gives. This is why 3 hours for both shows is pretty good, because it gives these people who are just sitting and catering
the opportunity,
to get some shit off. Could have been a little shorter, sure, but like this tag match and the one with Motor City, I think both matches were good. I feel, or at least in my opinion, both matches were good. But this is why we need 3 hours, so that people can get accustomed to these people, because Los Garza, like, they're cool as shit. I mean, when they actually get cooking, like, they all can wrestle. It's just that they don't get the opportunity. So 3 hours is a chore for both shows, especially for SmackDown for me, because I work Saturday mornings. So that third hour, I can't watch the third hour. I can't. But if it gives people opportunity to where, Chelsea and Michin can have a long match, and it's not 3 minutes, like the BKM era, or, we get those 2 tag matches, and I think it's beneficial.
Or that
Fatal 4-Way is
that impromptu Fatal 4-Way.
Heat.
Yeah,
Heat match of the night for me.
Yeah. Yep.
With that, and like you said, it is longer, but it does give people opportunities and whatnot. I think the slight disconnect was, just coming off of the week of WWE product, right? To where like Netflix was fucking crazy. You kind of expected some residual of that to happen on SmackDown. Not that it was advertised or nothing like that, but you kind of like, okay, Raw was like this, SmackDown definitely have to be like that, and that wasn't the case. And then also coming back for me, I was like, man, I haven't seen Pretty Deadly wrestle in like months. Like,
yeah,
and I didn't know like the emotional investment in Pretty Deadly at that moment. It was great to see him, of course. Yes Boys are Yes Boys, but like, where have they been? Last thing I saw was like, the musical bit, and then like, that was pretty much it. Now they're they're in the tag teams. Like, oh shit, I know, like they were part of like the storylines and everything like that.
Yeah. So essentially, what and I'll surmise it really quick. Essentially, they lied and said that Los Garza was the one that attacked the Street Profits from behind.
Gotcha.
And Apollo Crews came out that same episode and pretty much told Nick Aldis that wasn't the case, that it was Pretty Deadly. And so then there was a quick, brief alliance that's still going right now between DIY and Pretty Deadly, where Pretty Deadly helped them out last week, and then they were expecting a return help this week. That just passed. And so that's kind of the storyline, and then you finally get to see them because Los Garza and Pretty Deadly are going after it because they accused him of doing some shit they didn't do. Like, that's the summation of it.
That makes sense. Why when Apollo came out, I was like, they're not really going to help you. Like, I hear what they're saying. I was like, what does Apollo have to do with all this? That makes sense. Okay, cool.
There's a part that doesn't make that much sense though, and it's still Apollo. I don't know what I think his character is just snitching or something. Like, why are you this is week to week where you're like, why are you in people's business? So I'm very curious to see what's going on with Apollo, because like as of right now, he's just like, he's a snitch. Like, I don't know, he's just someone who's in everyone's business.
He's snitching.
He's just like, yeah, like, bro, mind your fucking business, bro.
Fair.
So,
we get see from here the LA Knight Shinsuke match. Did y'all have anything y'all want to get off on this match? Was there any thoughts or anything like you seen?
Oh man, that
Shinsuke's entrance
is
live
so
is
fire.
Really
Shinsuke's
cool, man.
Torching that bitch.
So fire, bro. Like, I recorded it.
It needs some fire,
and even though like
or something, like while he's walking,
it's
like
something,
torches or something,
like a following spotlight or something that's ominous.
That
but
Red
like,
Bull is heat, though, dude. Yeah, man.
even though like what is it? The harmony in his song is kind of gone. Like, they changed it. You can still hear pockets of fans like
filling
singing
it in
the song essentially. Yeah. Because even I was doing it, and I know there were other people that were doing it, and you could hear. It probably didn't register on TV, but there were pockets of fans in the arena that were still humming his music. So,
and doing the hands.
Yeah,
we were doing the hands every like 3 seconds.
The hands.
Anytime he did something, it was like,
we was just doing it in the ring. And then he did like, I think it's I think it's my favorite wrestling move. And I love it every time he sets it up and does it. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's whenever he gets his opponent
they're laying on the rope,
sitting on that second rope, and then he slides under him and pulls him down. Like every time I see that move, I love that.
It's like a sliding German suplex. It's fucking heat.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did it live, and I was like, because I was tapping my girl, I was like, oh, he about to do my move. I love this move. And he did. I was like, yes. And she was like, okay. Like what?
Nigga, that's funny.
Yeah, no, that I don't care. That shit was fire.
No, okay. The match looked good on TV. I definitely enjoy watching that match. I love the
and LA Knight did the move I hate, but he didn't fuck up. He hit it.
Yes, that was the other thing.
I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, and then he did it, and it's like, okay, cool. It looked good. He
didn't fuck it up.
It looked good.
I still want him to stop, but
yeah, that was funny because I leaned over. I was like, the last thing we need is for him to fuck this move up while Hero is
live. Oh man!
And we coming back first week of the pod, and I said,
shit.
I think I said it to him. I said it to him, and then Shinsuke ended up on the top rope, and I just looked at Hero, and I'm sitting here watching him, and then he hit the move. I was like, all right,
cool.
Like,
we can breathe.
There's one less thing I got to worry about when we get on the pod.
Yeah,
that's fucking funny. But yeah, match ended. It's fine. It ended great. We saw that the knee went to the exposed turnbuckle. He goes for like the BFT and whatnot. Looks like he's about to get it, and then Jacob Fatu and Tama just they gotta get their lick back. And so this was actually what sets up the tag match later on tonight. LA Knight will be feuding with somebody. He's gonna get his lick back on Jacob. At least try.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out in his favor. But
he's probably gonna help Jimmy. It'll probably be him and Jimmy getting some shit off because Cody is too invested with KO. And Jimmy's gonna need help next week.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be LA Knight.
Yeah, and it continues to give Jimmy the face rub that he's been getting the last 3 weeks. Yep. Which, by the way, that nigga has a strong toe. I don't know what's up with them Samoans, but for him to be hurt in November, he took like 2-3 weeks off, was on a holiday tour, and then now he back after he broke his toe.
It's crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
Pick that shit up. Put some tape on
it. Next one was A-Town Down, Motor City Machine Guns.
That was a fun match to watch in person too. I don't know how it came across on TV, but that was fun to watch in person.
It didn't come off as fun as I like for me, but like I'm glad that like y'all was like, yeah.
Motor City is really fun to watch. I mean, obviously, we all have our feelings about A-Town Down Under, but yeah, watching it live, it was a fun match. And their entrance live is kind of fun too because those bangs are that pop pop like that.
Oh, they're
like, it's loud as shit. Like it's the first one scares the fuck out of me, bro. And then it's bright as hell too. Like so, if you look directly into it, it's like they look like flashbangs, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, shit.
Cool.
Yeah. My girl down there had a heart attack from all the pyro. That shit was hilarious.
The pyro is what takes people. it will fuck you up if you're not used to the pyro. Like for an average like casual person going to the show, that shit will catch you off guard because it's loud.
And it makes the arena smoky
that
as
shit
hell.
be shaking.
Like I thought my glasses were smoky.
It echoes,
but like, it's like no, that's just
it's hearing or seeing like Cody shit go off, bro. Like that shit would make you almost have a fucking heart attack.
He's just loud as fuck. It scared me too, and it's like I knew it was coming. I know the song. I have it on my phone.
Women's 4-way. Nia, Bailey, Naomi, Bianca. Bianca is doing her thing in Portland. Every time she come to Portland, she like to show out.
Man,
so like,
I love it.
She really loved Portland. You got to see some hitters. You all got to see some live hitters. You get to see Nia in person. Nia was out there wrestling in person.
Yeah. Did you? Okay, so on TV, did you hear her say shit?
No.
So she comes out and she's like, "You ungrateful little shit," and like
little
the crowd popped. He was like, "Whoa, what? Oh, we cussing, baby. This ain't Netflix." I was like,
we out.
Which by the way, Tiffany Stratton, she shouldn't lose her championship for a little bit, but she actually absolutely has the crowd in the palm of her hand.
Yes.
Like,
over.
she didn't even come out. She didn't even come out and niggas was screaming Tiffy time. Like, through the
whole show.
Like, and then she came out and they lost it. They lost it. Absolutely lost it. So
it's not a bad idea to have Tiffy with the belt. Like, it makes a lot of sense. We've talked about it even before everything. But like, she's gonna get a solid push, and should get a solid push. She's mad fucking talented. But the match looked great on TV. I love the match. Y'all said it was fire in person. Like, you knew that like it wasn't gonna be Bianca and Naomi. They have the tag belts right now. That didn't make any sense. So Bayley coming out on top for a heel made sense, because like I thought like Tiffy, after she wants to go turn babyface, and no, she came out, I was like, nah, she's stupid. I was playing her, haha. So like, okay, she's definitely heel still. So it's gonna be Bayley versus Tiffy for, I think, next week on SmackDown. But overall, match looked great, man. I did not have anything negative to say about this match. The Rose Plant spot was dope with Naomi. Like, I got nothing. I thought it was good to go. Spine buster from Bianca, like, it was. Oh
my god, yeah, and that should look like a Batista Triple H spine buster. When she did it. It sound like, when I can't even remember who she put through. I'm assuming it was Bayley, but whoever she put through the mat with that spine buster, like you could hear it in the arena. Like, it sounded like
that top rope Samoan drop that happened too. That shit was. I was like, no, not Bayley, no. But yeah, Bayley win. I low key did not expect Bayley to win. I thought they was gonna run the Nia Jax rematch immediately. I assumed Nia was gonna win, but having Bayley win is cool. But yeah, no, her and Naomi. I meant to say Nia. I thought they were gonna run Tiffany and Nia back immediately. But Naomi and Bayley having the same colored hair, to me, is very interesting. That's why I'm leaning towards Bayley was the attacker.
I didn't know that. You are right.
The evidence ain't that crazy. It's very circumstantial, but it looks different.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't, like, everything counts. Like, as soon as Kofi came out with the Majin pendant, we knew something was up. We just didn't know what, but we knew. So like, everything counts. Everything counts.
Is it not too soon to turn her back heel though?
To me, it is a little bit. And I think we talked about it before we left for the break. To me, it kind of is. But if it sets up also Naomi turning heel and they're a heel team and it's like, I don't know. I think it could work. The reason why I say it kind of is just because like I feel like they truly, if one of the biggest fumbles in my opinion for 2024 was how they handled the Bayley reign after she won. She had to fire triple.
Absolutely.
The triple threat with her and Naomi and Tiffany, that was fire. Like, she did have a couple bangers, but I feel like they didn't really capitalize on her character as a babyface. So that part of me I would say is a little bit of a fumble. Which is why I'm like, I think it's a little too soon. But Bayley's great, and if also like it brings Naomi into the feud, like you get two different characters changing. Like I don't know. I think, I'm eager to see, or very curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
I watched a video on Instagram, and I'm not gonna say the pod or who it was, whatever, but I agreed with this person's take and sentiment that Bayley is the GOAT female wrestler. She can do everything.
Oh yeah, no, her jersey's in the rack.
She can talk. She can bump. She can put people over. She can be like catty, like a heel. Like, she could do. There's nothing that Bayley can't.
And
do.
She can make you look good. Like, she made Tamina, and no shade to Tamina, but she made Tamina look like a fucking worker. She can put, like, she can make you look fucking good in the ring. Very similar to Becky and Charlotte. So when DT made his horsewoman's comment, it's there.
Yeah, put them three together, bro. You might, like, I would not be. I would like to see that, at first, like, part of it was shade towards homegirl, but secondarily, like, I would like to see, while I'm watching, I would like to see them three come together and just wreck shop. I would love to see that.
I do think Bayley's like tremendously underrated. Like I don't know if it's like just because like, you know, and no knock to like, you know, WWE and like, you know, like sex appeal sells and whatnot in WWE. I don't know if that's the case. Like, whereas like outwardly, you know, like she's not outwardly like going out there doing it. So I don't know if that's what makes her the fans not recognize, or not fans, but you know, people who are not locked in or tapped in. But Bayley is she is great. Like I was thinking about, she does everything. She does.
There's
everything.
nothing she can't. Yeah, there's nothing she can't do.
No.
Yeah. So I've watched her call matches, put people over, sell. She takes crazy bumps. Even though we're, I guess, getting away from saying moveset, she has a great moveset. Like she has a submission. She's got a finisher. She's got like there's nothing that Bayley can't do.
No.
So like
no,
I don't think she has a weak spot. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you'd be nitpicking. You definitely be nitpicking.
So
main event. Cody Rhodes, or actually before this, there was a little Carmelo Hayes spot with Jimmy.
What's that saying that you say? Mello don't miss. With all them bricks, you build a house.
Yeah, I was like,
that got a pop.
But I think like he also tweeted out that like he said he reversed all Usos moves or whatever. He has a counter for all 4 of their moves. Like he been shooting. Like he been shooting. So you're gonna get what you asked for. Like them Usos is not nothing to play with, and I need to see it. Yeah. So that's Jimmy J. Like go ahead, get you one.
It needs to be Jimmy, and Jimmy needs to win. Jimmy's got to stop taking pins just because we got Fatu and Cody and all these other people.
Yeah, Jimmy needs to start with the matches because, like I said a couple months ago or whatever. Like I honestly think Jimmy's the better worker. Jay is obviously over his shit, but Jay had the opportunity to get over because when he switched to Raw, like he was winning matches. He had a brief tag team with Cody. Like Jimmy hasn't had the opportunity to because he was just taking bumps and pins to like further Solo and Roman storyline stuff. If we get him,
and he just had that, that passionate promo. Right
2
after
months of like, not he doesn't have to win every match, but give him 2 months of like having some good solo matches. I think Jimmy could easily be just as over as Jay.
And
I think Jimmy talks better than Jay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by far. But Jay's more passionate, so his delivery
hits a little different. It's just hits different. Huh.
But I think like Jimmy doesn't have to win a belt either. Like it'd be cool because Jay won one, but he doesn't have to win. He just has to stop getting booked to get his ass beat and take the pins and start winning and be in more pivotal solo storylines. That's it. Like that's yeah. Cause I'm tapped. We tapped in. Plus, when he came out, the crowd also blew a gasket too. So it's not like he's not over like Jay, but it's not like fans don't care about him.
Right.
So
you still a Uso. Like we still know who you are. As far as the main event came, how did y'all feel about it? Action in ring. Was the energy there? Like was it like how'd y'all feel? By this time, were y'all tired because of like the show's been going on for so long? Like, what's the?
I was hungry. I was supposed to get pizza. I didn't get no pizza.
Yeah, I was kind of hungry too. So I was kind of like looking at my watch. And also I had to work.
And I knew.
So I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and I kind of knew what it was. Like, I knew in my mind, like, KO gonna come back. Somebody gonna fuck it up. You're not gonna have Cody take a pin, obviously. You need Fatu to win, like so. Like the only person that really,
But the match itself was cool. The match itself was cool, and the energy, the crowd energy was fine. But for me, DT and I was like, man, I'm ready to eat something.
The writing was on the wall.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was hoping there wasn't like a main event match after. Like I was like, please, I'm ready to go.
no dark match.
Because sometimes they be doing that.
We good, bro. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Hell no. We had to. It was time to cut it loose, my boy.
Time to get out. Overall, like I said, the show looked great. I felt like, for me personally, watching at home, it felt like a filler episode. Not disrespectfully, but that's just how it felt. Definitely some bright spots with the Fatal 4-Way match. Of course, Roman being announced to go to the Rumble. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing to tie into that. The show, we can get up out of here, y'all.
Cool.
Y'all got anything you want to get off before we?
I'm glad to be back. And make sure you follow us on the Twitter, the Instagram. I mean, follow the page. Don't follow me. I don't want your follows unless they're on Blue Sky.
You know they're gonna follow you.
But
and when they do follow you,
follow me on Blue Sky.
You are accountable for everything you put out.
Yeah.
They got some crazy shit out there. Which is why
you should follow me on Blue Sky, because that is I'm more tame. I am more respectful. I don't want your followers anywhere else.
That nigga will follow him on X if you want to. Nigga be talking about hot dogs from Costco and mustard and shit.
Yeah.
That's
my first Glizzy of the year. Shit. Yeah.
Oh fuck. All right, people, we're gonna get out of here. Definitely happy to be back, man. It's gonna be a great year. Mania season is here. We're about to have some great fucking episodes coming up. Yeah, it's time to shake. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
We out. I love you. Roman. Hero. No.